God, shots fired, Margaret. Shots
Well,
fired.
I was
God,
just reminiscing.
this is not off by a whole minute this time.
I mean,
Gosh.
the button's been pushed.
Gosh, yeah, we are live now. We are live now. I was just
Oh.
saying before we opened up the curtain here, everybody. I went out for a meal at a Caribbean restaurant yesterday, doing Caribbean food and shit. And I had what was it called? What was the name of it? Snapper. I had steamed
You're a
snapper
snapper.
and rice, and it was good, great food, delicious food. But
Okay.
these
okay.
motherfuckers, they served this. It's still got a head on it.
No.
It got the head on it, bro.
I'm not doing that, dude.
But and I'm there with my friend, right? And he's and I've never eaten a fish with a head on it before. That's crazy talk, right? So his plate arrived a few minutes before mine. I was like, bro, that's got eyes in it. And he's like, yeah, that's the best bit. Scoops up the fucking eyeball with his fork and eats this eyeball from this fish. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is that? What the fuck?
No.
That's where all the collagen is.
I don't care what the fuck's in it.
God.
I don't.
No.
There's a reason why the crows and the vultures
Wow.
pluck out the eyes first. You know?
Ugh.
If you ever
'Cause they're
find yourself dead on
mental.
the side of the road, your eyes are gone first before anything else, probably.
Well, thanks for that, Margaret. Yeah, no.
No
Yeah,
problem.
But you know,
No
I got the snapper as well. Mine arrived like a minute, 2 minutes after him, and I was like, okay, I'll try this eyeball, and it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
Oh, so you tried the eyeball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh.
Okay.
I ate
couldn't
one
get you to eat
eyeball.
any-
I had one eyeball.
Barely
but-
get you eat biscuits and gravy, but you'll eat a freaking eyeball.
Hey
The
man,
hell, bro?
if it's there in front of me, the problems with the biscuit and gravy is I had to make it. Well, not me. I had to ask the wife to make it, and she did a good job of it. Biscuits and gravy was
Yeah.
good. But anyway, just thought we'd get that random story in there, everybody.
Mhm,
Well, let me tell me
Yeah.
though, was the eyeball kind of like a grape?
No, it had a
What kind of
hard bit in the
consistency?
middle. It was more like a cherry, which is weird,
Oh,
man. Because it had a.
interesting.
I was like, "What the fuck is this? Is
Oh.
this eye bone or something?" I don't know what the fuck. It was bad. But the thing is,
Oh.
the food was so good. Is that I had this whole snapper fish and so many bones in it. I didn't know snapper was such a bony fish, and just picking bones out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friend's like, "Oh, you've left loads of fish on them bones. You got to suck the fish off them bones." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to do that." He says, "Yeah, I suck all of it. I go hard, bro." And I was like, "That is the gayest thing you've ever fucking said to me." What the fuck? You know what I mean? Sorry, yeah, there should have been
Oh,
a
boy.
disclaimer this week. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Gosh,
You're
gosh.
kind of picking up for Billy. You know what I mean?
But yeah.
Yeah,
and-
I guess so. Pick up
yeah,
the slack.
Billy's not here today. That's right, everybody, before we go on to the intro there. But let's do the proper intro now. The story's out the way. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, yes, everybody, and welcome to High on Homegrown, the Cannabis podcast from Percy'sGrowroom.com. I am Macky from the UK, and joining us this week, we have Margaret.
Hello, everyone. This is Margaret from Central Ontario in Canada, and we're having a delightfully cool day today.
What's
Which
cool
is
for you?
surprising. Like 20 degrees Celsius.
Beautiful. That's what we have
Yeah.
here. We're on 19. It's beautiful.
Yesterday it was like 35.
Oh,
So this is like quite a reprieve.
still nice. I'm loving this
Yeah.
hot weather. We've had a great summer this year in the UK. I've really enjoyed it, man. But maybe that's because I've done a few mushroom sessions, and that can just always brighten your mood collectively over the whole season.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? What are you
Yeah.
saying, John? You good?
I'm good. It's beautiful kind of today. It's an off and on. We had a little bit of rain. It's cool here too. We're sitting at 76 freedom units, which converts to what, 24?
Not bad.
Celsius?
Not bad.
But the clouds keep coming over, and I don't know what's actually going to happen today. It's kind of bipolar,
Mm.
Minnesota.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yesterday was hot though, standing out on the asphalt at that bike show though.
Yeah, it was hot here yesterday too. Your weather sounds like often very similar to mine.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
John always
I mean,
sounds like a
Diet
pilot.
Canada.
Cornerstone said there.
A
Yeah.
pilot. I don't know.
You were
I don't
a
know what
pilot,
that
eh?
means.
Maybe it means you
Pilot
always
to a
sound
show.
high.
Ha ha.
See what I did there? See what I did? Yeah, man. No
Yeah,
Billy
it's
this
been
week,
good.
everybody. Yeah, he's not well this week, so do send him a message on the Discord or Percy's or Instagram if you do have him on any of those networks, and just say hi You know, he thinks it's because of all the tourists. There's a lot of tourists in his neck of the wood right now, so he thinks that he's caught something off them. I don't know why he gets so close to these people. I don't know, but he did.
I can't believe he
So.
does, or is it just
Yeah.
drifting? What's happening?
You
The wind's
just
coming
imagine
in?
him just looking out the window angrily all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking tourists. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why he even went out there. Next year he should know better. Just stay indoors. Yeah, man.
Yep.
But we've got some interesting stories to cover this week in the news, and of course we have the Grow Guys later on as well. We got quite a few listener mail questions this week, so a big shout out to everybody who sent some in. That's awesome. We got some good questions which we'll get to. But for the news, we have this one here. This 80% of NHS doctors would prescribe medical cannabis. What the fuck? So why isn't it
As they
properly medicating to people, or what do people have to go to that bullshit? What is the establishment called? Pharmacy? It's not even a pharmacy. It's just fucking. It's ridiculous. Why do we have to jump through these ridiculous hoops? We got also cannabis decriminalisation backed by half of Guernsey deputies, and these are members of the police department over there in an island called Guernsey, part of the UK. And more than half of them think that cannabis should be decriminalised. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. The growing conservative push against legal cannabis. Things are going backwards. So people are trying to make it illegal again. We also have US teens fail to complete rehabilitation for cannabis use disorder. Yeah, because, they don't want to quit. Can't blame them. Gosh,
Right.
Medical cannabis significantly decreases the use of opioids by chronic pain patients. Is another one we have here. And another one, we got to have Trump because it's a news article fucking thing. Trump's always in the news. He might as well be in this news. We have Trump's federal policy on cannabis explained. What would reclassifying the drug mean, and what does the data say? That's what we'll be covering in the news this week. So, yes.
Yes.
Lots to do, lots to talk about. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. But as I said before the show, because if people are downloading this, you don't get to catch the crazy intro about I just said, because that'll be all taken out. But yeah, go and check out the YouTube if you want to hear that. But yeah, this is the problem is well, the fish was so good. I've thoroughly enjoyed eating the food. Just picking the bones out and thinking about eating fish eyes was different, but it was good. So I didn't know what to eat. He's like, "What are you gonna order?" I'm like, "I don't really know. I'll just have exactly the same as you're having." You want steamed vegetables? I'm like, "Bro, exactly the same. Just order what you're getting twice, and I'll have exactly the same as you." Because I like to be adventurous with food like that and just try random shit. I'm sure you all know from the past of the show, everybody. Let's try this random food this week. Remember that section of High and Homegrown? Remember salted licorice?
We should bring that back. We should. We should
Yeah.
do
a couple more of those ones.
I still got to do beans on toast here.
Bro,
one day,
do you have beans on toast, Margaret?
I've had it before, yeah.
All right.
Okay, but would you consider that wartime food? Okay, come on now, Margaret. Let's be serious here.
I've never lived through a war, so I don't know.
Oh, come on, Margaret.
It's a snack.
At least
I mean,
prison
maybe.
food?
Bro.
Probably.
I mean, I like baked beans, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, baked beans is okay. Okay.
Baked beans in tomato sauce, right? And then if you don't live with anybody, if you live by yourself, because you don't want to pollute people's fucking airwaves, but cheesy beans on toast, bro. You add some of that cheese into those beans, man. Bro, that's a snack.
Oh, my goodness.
And the thing
gonna
is,
do
Margaret, you might not know, but John went on for a while about biscuits and gravy. Right?
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm
a
like, what
great-
the fuck is that World War One food? But eventually, the wife got the recipe from John, and I tried the biscuits and gravy, and it was nice. And he ordered some from Popeye's Chicken, which I found a Popeye's Chicken in my city this week, and it was like, oh my god, they have biscuits and gravy, Cajun gravy, let's fucking go. And that was some good shit. But anyway, John went out. I tried this biscuits and gravy, Margaret, because John recommended. But I'm here like, you got to do the cheesy beans on toast. Still waiting.
I'm gonna do it.
Cheesy
I'm
beans
gonna
on
do
toast. I mean, like if you like baked beans, what's the difference? What's the difference of putting a piece of toast in there
A piece of cheese.
or a piece of cheese?
Cheese
makes
should go on
better.
everything. Cheese goes on cornflakes. Cheese goes on everything. You just got to add it. It's always
Cheese
good.
does not go on cornflakes, bro.
No, I know. I
Oh,
exaggerate.
yeah,
but
cornflakes.
still.
That is my limit as well. That's
Yeah.
that's weird.
Okay. We're gonna stop at
Gosh.
cornflakes.
Gosh, how dare you?
I will do it, and I just need to. I've been to the store and I was looking, and I haven't seen any of the Heinz beans at
You
the
got to get
store
the
I go
Heinz, but
to,
you order them online if you have
which is
to.
what you tell me. But I'm a Bush's guy. Like I like Bush baked
Get some of
beans,
that
baby.
strong cheese, like a nice mature cathedral city or something like that. I don't know what you guys have, but don't go to blue cheese level. That's a little bit too much. But
No,
just a normal block of cheese, but a strong flavored one. Cheese
Like
beans
just
on
a
toast,
cheddar
bro.
cheese.
Yeah, cheddar cheese. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll
blue
just
Sorry.
get
cheese
some
would be weird with
shredded
with
Yeah.
cheddar
beans.
cheese and.
You
I could
grate
see
that
that being
shit.
good. Yeah.
Are we
Oh, it's
buttering
good.
the toast?
Of course. What the fuck are you? We savages or something?
Oh my God! What are you
Anyway,
buttering the toast for?
because if you can put butter on it, put butter on it.
Oh my
Doesn't
God.
matter what it is. I mean, you can have jacket potatoes as well, which we have sometimes here in the UK, with cheese and beans, and that's also good.
Okay.
But you also need to butter the jacket potato because everything with butter is better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't disagree with that
Okay.
either.
Except for shiitake mushrooms, I tried those in butter, and they are terrible. Didn't like it at all.
But do
Really?
you butter
Yeah.
your hot dog bun?
No, I'll put ketchup on
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I don't
Okay. So
typically
then,
either.
okay.
Yeah.
But guys,
I
what we
question.
talking about here? We're going on to a cookery show today.
Mhm.
Sounding a little bit
Yeah.
like
Cooking
are you
with
sure about
cannabis.
edibles?
I
I
know
think.
we
Yeah.
we're a little bit high today. Maybe we discussing the
Maybe
mushrooms.
perchance.
Well, I think anyway. Let us know if
Little
you've
rant,
had
sorry.
the cheese and beans on toast or jacket potatoes there, everybody, or if you're even eating that now. Let us know. Drop in the comments and all that shit. But I think for now we'll move on to the news. Are we ready?
Good.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
do it. So I think we'll start off with one of Margaret's articles today. We want to talk about that growing conservative push against legal cannabis. What's this one about,
Yeah.
Margaret?
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's
Are you
start.
scared?
Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
No. No, I'm not.
You'll be all right.
But maybe I should be. I did skim the article, but I didn't really you know what I mean? Because I like to be as surprised as
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So this one comes from
Okay.
StratCan, the growing conservative push against legal cannabis. When when Canada legalized cannabis for adult use in 2018, it was a big step in what felt like an inevitable progression towards more sensible cannabis policies around the world, and I would agree. However, some 7 years later, much of that momentum seems to have stalled while a growing number of pundits and politicians, primarily on the right side of the political spectrum, are pushing back. What many had long hoped for seemed to finally come to fruition. In 2013, Uruguay became the first nation to legalize rec cannabis, followed by several more US states in the coming years. In 2017, Catalonia also legalized. And while many countries followed with different approaches to legalizing and regulating cannabis for medical purposes or even decriminalizing it for adult use, in many ways it seems Canada may have been a high watermark, not one step in a more sensible reconsideration of the world's approach to cannabis sativa. In a 2020 referendum in New Zealand on whether or not to legalize cannabis, or when in a referendum in New Zealand on whether or not to legalize cannabis failed by a slim margin. And in 2024, the Australian Senate voted to discontinue debating a cannabis legalization bill. What seemed like a big step forward in Germany in early 2024 when it legalized limited possession and cultivation, and later that year, adult-only nonprofit cannabis social clubs stopped short of allowing adult use sales. The law has now faced pushback from the recently elected conservative Christian Democratic Union government. Medical cannabis laws in many countries are now also facing pushback. Health authorities in New Zealand recently announced that they are going after medical cannabis clinics that are violating the country's advertising restrictions. The health authority in Australia recently launched a public consultation on unapproved medicinal cannabis products. In Canada, the health regulator has been making similar efforts to push back against a handful of physicians it has for years said are connected to a large number of high gram a day authorizations for cannabis, often connected to large personal or designated production licenses. And in the United States, the sleeping giant, many are hoping, expecting to be one of the big next markets to finally legalize cannabis. Conservative political pundits continue to rail against cannabis in many forms. MAGA podcaster and right wing personality Charlie Kirk recently expressed strong opposition to the recent rumors that Donald Trump, is considering reclassifying cannabis as a less dangerous drug, arguing that everything already smells like weed.
Fuck
I
him.
hope this does.
Sorry.
I agree.
Sorry.
On
I
a whole lot of
commented
levels.
on one of his videos about this.
Oh, did
Oh,
you?
Mm-hmm.
I like his commentary about cannabis
Yeah.
specifically. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just not good enough.
It was
I
that
don't,
exact interview or whatever he was doing.
Well, I just find it ridiculous. Just because you don't like the smell of it doesn't mean that it should be illegal. I think it's a ridiculous argument. I don't like the smell of
Yeah.
it. It's like, I don't like the smell of cigarettes, but I have to fucking put up with that every single fucking
I
day.
know. It is such a dumb argument.
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
So you deal with the cannabis, you know?
I also
Fucking
don't
hell.
like the smell of the paint factory that's running in my town either. What can I do about
That's
that?
right.
But
And these people
Right.
who don't shower, you know what I'm saying? Can we
Yeah.
make them illegal?
yeah, like
Are
there's
you
a,
mad at the?
Sorry.
that's a whole other thing.
Wonder.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But-
You know, it's-
I will continue on. He is quoted as saying, quote, I hope this doesn't happen, Kirk wrote in a social media post. We need to protect public spaces for kids. Everything already smells like weed, which is ridiculous. Let's make it harder to ruin public spaces, not easier.
And just add in there, you know, we need to protect public spaces for kids. It's like, you know, so you don't smoke where kids are around and shit. I mean, you see, it's pretty
Right.
fucking obvious, but do people care about kids when they're smoking a cigarette? It's that you can always compare it to the cigarette, you know. And New York did the right thing, didn't they, when they legalized cannabis? Wherever you could smoke a cigarette, you could also smoke a joint.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that here too, where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The very conservative American Heritage Foundation also recently posted a piece about the supposed failure of cannabis legalization to eliminate the illicit market. The opinion piece perpetuates a common trope, straw man, in which the legalization was supposedly promised to completely and immediately eradicate the black market. While the Heritage Foundation is an American conservative think tank, it also focuses on Canada extensively in the report. At one point, a convenient anonymous quote says, the extinction of the black market is a chief fallacy of arguments for legalizing marijuana. If anything, legalization has forced hordes of stoners, namely low income, to continue to rely on the streets. Unquote. It's a great example of one of the many contradictions social conservatives make when attacking cannabis legalization. On one hand, they oppose it outright because cannabis is bad. Okay. On the other hand,
Okay.
on the other hand, they pretend to have concerns about the poor and marginalized supposedly being negatively impacted by legalization.
Jesus.
In reality, if we look at the same key voices that led up to legalization in Canada, Anne McClellan, who led the federal government's task force on legalization, told StratCan in 2020 she expected the process to take a decade to reach about 80%, an 80% share for the legal market. The notion that cannabis legalization was promoted as a way to end a deeply embedded black market instantly is simply not supported by the facts, just feelings. And in 6 years, based on polling that helps Stats Canada create a baseline prior to legalization, the legal market has already captured about 75% of the market. And prior to legalization in Canada in 2018, unless one was accessing Canada's medical cannabis program, 100% of cannabis in the country was not legal. To go from that to 75% in just 5 or 6 years is noteworthy. On top of that, 100% is never going to be likely for a highly controlled substance like cannabis. It's similar for other products in that category. The LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, also the largest alcohol buyer in the entire world, I might add, estimates that illegal sales account for 19.7% of Ontario alcoholic drinks market. In tobacco, that rate is much higher, sometimes more than 50% of the market. Many similar arguments are being made, built on similarly flimsy or outright made up premises. Claims that cannabis use has become more prevalent are another example. The objection that legalization has led to cannabis smoke being everywhere, was raised by conservatives in the US against Florida's legalization in 2024, which ultimately failed. I think we covered a story along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
The conflation of cannabis legalization with other drug related issues like the opioid epidemic is also common. In Canada, we can see one recent example in the House of Commons when Conservative MP in British Columbia, Chuck Ow, implied the low overdose rate in their community was related to the fact that the city had also banned cannabis stores.
What? Fuck.
No.
You know,
That's
wow. Sorry, Margaret. Sorry.
okay.
I
In
just couldn't
2020, I
contain
know.
myself then, you know.
A little jaw dropping, I get it. In
Yeah.
2024, then conservative leader Pierre Poilievre tried to play fast and loose with a similar argument, connecting legalization with tens of thousands of deaths.
Oh my god.
What?
While Poilievre
I'm
tried to
gonna freak out.
backpedal by saying he was referring to recent decriminalization efforts concerning personal possession of small amounts of certain hard drugs in British Columbia, the argument is common enough to reveal a theme. Rather than focusing on economic opportunities within the cannabis industry or on the bureaucracy friendly nature of legalization in cannabis under the Liberals, the Conservatives seem more interested in continuing to discuss cannabis in the same breath as drugs like fentanyl, heroin, acting as if we can revert to a century of failed prohibitionist, you know what I'm trying to say,
Yep, you
policies.
said it.
Um, there's just a bit more here. Similarly, we've seen misleading reports that exaggerate the impact that cannabis use and legalization have had on the road. Politicians who oppose cannabis legalization are like to routinely conflate data that shows the presence of cannabis in someone's system with impairment or even with causing an accident. An opinion piece penned by a conservative MP in BC in 2024 claimed that legalization has undermined road safety, even though the evidence shows that cannabis legalization is not associated with increases in traffic injuries in Canada. Similarly, a 2024 study in Ontario looking at the effects of edible cannabis on simulated driving and blood THC levels found that driving impairment was not correlated with blood THC.
Mm-hmm.
One conservative MP in 2024 even went so far as to say he would recriminalize cannabis if given a chance.
Wow.
That guy gets the finger.
Yes,
I
right
bet he
through the
does.
screen. Such
Ha.
sentiments from the conservatives around cannabis are not uncommon. Marilyn Gladu, conservative MP for Sarnia Lambton, who has a storied anti cannabis history in the House, as one of those who led the charge to oppose legalization in the first place, has long said that the party would push back on legalization. In 2019, she told the Globe and Mail that the party wouldn't roll back cannabis legalization, but would like to make major changes to it, including raising the age of access, banning home grows, especially fuck you for that one,
Oh
including
my god.
medical, supporting larger companies over smaller
What the fuck?
smaller
That's a
ones.
bunch of shit.
Oh, that's
Feel
ooh,
like I
that's
have to
very
mute my microphone and just keep
She
just
also gets the
lashing out.
finger.
that
So what
boils
the
my blood.
fuck, man?
Yep.
While also wanting to pare back packaging restrictions for food and drinks. Recently, another Conservative MP in Ontario has called on the federal health minister to look at issues with medical cannabis home grows. Conservatives have also continued to call for an end to a medical cannabis loophole. Now that much of the hype of legalization has faded and the stock market millionaires have all packed up and moved on to greener pastures, they seem to see little reason to even to pretend to be pro cannabis. They can once again point to the specter of the scary marijuana as a cause of the symptoms of society's ills. The political winds of the world currently seem to be moving to the right of the political spectrum, and if this continues, I expect to see these kinds of disingenuous arguments against cannabis legalization will only increase. While Republican voters say they are supportive of cannabis legalization, Republicans in several states have been responsible for pushing back against voter efforts to legalize. All of the
That's a
highlights
fact.
all of this highlights two key fallacies in the cannabis community and those investing in the industry. The first is that legalization is inevitable. The second is that conservatives support legalization because it's a revenue generator and prohibition is big government. What we see instead is that conservative politicians and pundits continue to revel in old, outdated reefer madness prohibition era talking points about the dangers of marijuana not the benefits of legalization from the standpoint of personal freedom. As the U.S. continues to debate legalization and some speculate that the current U.S. president will enact it, it would be wise to take into account that not only is this progress not inevitable, but there's a growing pushback against it, especially among right wing politicians controlling not only the US, but many other countries in the world. Progress is not inevitable, not, at least not in the short term. The sentiment that held back sensible cannabis policy for a century, led by the US, remains and appears to be gaining ground.
Wow.
The end.
Hmm. There's a
The end.
shit
Then
ton
they
of
all
fact
lived
there.
happily ever after.
The hell they did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Different. Different. It's,
that person was talking about like pushing back on like Canadian like that conservative
Homegrown?
MP. I'm like, yes, that makes me really
yeah, man. Yeah, that's
Are
ridiculous.
you mental is
mad.
my question. Like, what are
Yeah.
you thinking,
And
man?
then and like pushing back on home grow and then prioritizing larger companies over smaller
Yeah,
ones
no,
because
right?
the larger companies are the ones who are always like doing the best for the industry, and that is
Right.
heavily loaded with sarcasm.
Mm-mm.
Because
Holy.
that's not usually the way it works. It's usually the smaller companies that are producing
Yeah, and
safer
what
and
I
better
find
quality.
shocking is the fact that if you put a vote out, let the people fucking decide. It's not up to you motherfuckers to decide what the laws should be. The
Right.
people should decide what they are via a vote. So put a vote out, let the people decide and see what they think. And I guarantee there's still home grow and there's still legal recreational cannabis for all those people,
Right.
for all those politicians who do follow the vote. But none of them do. They're all
Yeah.
financially incentivized by somebody to make it illegal again by the look of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God.
But it's an interesting perspective too, because a lot of people are looking to Trump to potentially change things, and I guess they're suggesting that it's not inevitable because there are so many like right wing politicians who have
There is.
the power in the states at the moment that are like, weed smells and it's everywhere. We got to protect the children.
Yeah, yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, Charlie Kirk can go jump off a cliff.
That's right. He's a really religious guy as well, Charlie Kirk.
Yes,
So
he
you would think that he
is.
was up for fucking the herb, you know, be like, oh yeah, God made it, so carry on. But no, he's
Yeah,
one
but
of them.
not
He's what the
religious
fuck.
that way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. They're picking and choosing as they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good at that. That's for sure.
Mhm. Cherry picking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, interesting
Crazy.
story there.
Hmm.
It's tough to say because I would like to sit here and say, but it's not going to go backwards. But the shit we've been seeing going on in Thailand, where they've legalized and gone backwards, it's possible,
Yeah.
man.
Because
The
that
potential is there.
what's the status of legalization in Thailand at the moment? Did they actually totally repeal it?
I think
'Cause
so.
I heard-
I think so. I think we reported on it. And yeah, the
Yeah.
recreational is gone now, as far as I know.
Hmm.
Yeah, you think that can't happen, but
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that's right.
And you would think that couldn't happen in a place like Canada, where now it's got like a, it's been
Yeah,
around for a while. But
yeah.
they're like,
Right.
I don't know.
You're
You never
always
know.
gonna have people coming in and with a different opinion that way and stuff too on something like that.
Yeah.
People change out, new people come in. I mean, that's what kind of happened in Thailand, right? Like
Yeah.
new
But anyway.
people came in and they said, no, we don't want that.
Considering we're talking about politicians and politicians on the conservative side of things, let's talk about Trump now, John. What's Trump saying?
Oh boy. Well, this is kind of a good follow-up, I guess, right? From
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
story there a little bit. Yeah. So, man, this whole last week since we covered this last week, almost everybody I know has asked me about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been mental. Like everybody's been like,
About like
so
Good.
Trump's
because of
looking at
reclassifying?
reclassifying this? Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Right.
because John
it's been
John is in a
everywhere.
legal place and he's also on a cannabis news podcast, so he's the man to
Right.
go to. You know what I mean?
I guess
He's
Right.
at the
so.
parties, and then need to go speak to
Yeah.
John because John knows what he's. Have you reported
And
on
I'm
this,
like,
John?
I
Do you
don't
know
know.
anything about this? I don't fucking know. I'm just on a
Well,
podcast.
you-
What the fuck?
you don't know. That's the whole point of when somebody asked me about it. It's like just because they said something that he said, oh, we're gonna look at it,
Mhm.
all of a sudden it became a huge thing to everybody. And nobody
Mhm.
really knows what the deal is. You know, I mean, this started last administration, now it's moving forward. Got to figure out what's gonna happen, I guess. But let's see what this article brings. This is from the Independent. So, what would Trump's reclassifying of cannabis mean? Trump is weighing the pros and cons of marijuana policy change, noting it's a very complicated subject, as we can tell by the last article that Margaret read, apparently. All right, so Donald Trump is reportedly reevaluating the federal classification of marijuana, a move that could significantly alter its legal status across the United States and bring federal policy closer to the approach already adopted by numerous states. What are we up to? 24 for adults?
I think you've got 50 states, John.
No, 24 legal, recreational. That's what I was talking about, man. We're almost halfway there.
I know. I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling, bro.
Mr. Trump indicated on Monday that he hopes
Mr.
to
Trump.
make a decision.
Yeah, sorry.
Whoa.
I just think it's disrespectful when they refer to the president like this. It's like, this is the president of the United States. You might not like him, but you should refer to him as President Trump. That's the title of the man. You know what I mean? It's like calling King Charles Charlie boy.
If you look, I'll get down further. We'll see another little something here. So indicated on Monday that he hopes to make a decision in the coming weeks regarding potential changes to how cannabis is regulated. This renewed focus comes over a year after the Biden administration formally proposed reclassifying the drug, though no decision was reached before Mr. Biden, again, he was a president, why are we using misters here, left office. Meanwhile, many states have already gone further than the federal government by legalizing the recreational use of cannabis for adults or allowing it for medical purposes.
Yeah, and just where it says Mr. Biden there as well, like you pointed out. Same thing, man. It's like this guy was the president of the United States. He was the most powerful man in the world for a second there. Can we use the appropriate term, please? Gosh.
Right.
I'm like, whatever, because Mr. Trump keeps calling Mr. Carney the governor instead of prime minister. So.
yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, John.
It's okay. It's funny. Okay, so policy. Under current federal policy, processing cannabis remains a federal crime punishable by fines and prison time. Possessing cannabis. Selling or cultivating cannabis is considered a more serious offense, carrying potential prison sentences of 5 years to life, which is insane. Depending on that's
the UK. That's what we are in the UK.
Well, here's the crazy thing about this is that like every president for the past how many has been just pardoning people for these small, non-violent crimes for cannabis. So why don't they just get rid of that so that doesn't have to keep happening? Because it's going to keep happening, right? Like, every year, he pardoned another 5 people. He pardoned 7 people. Like, just you're going to do it. So just why do we even have that?
Do it already.
It's so stupid. Yeah, just do it, lady.
Do it, lady.
So last year, the Justice Department proposed reclassifying marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug, a category that includes substances like heroin and LSD, to a less dangerous Schedule 3 substance, which encompasses drugs such as ketamine and certain anabolic steroids. This proposed switch initiated a lengthy bureaucratic process. Nearly 43,000 public comments were submitted to the federal government regarding the suggested change. The DEA was still in the review process when President Trump succeeded President Biden in January, prompting a reexamination of policies across the federal government. Reclassifying cannabis would not, however, equate to a nationwide legalization for recreational use by adults. See, this is what everybody wants to know right here. In this whole situation, if they reclassify it, is it going to end up making it legal for everybody? And that's not what's going to happen, regardless, in my opinion.
No, it's two very separate things, right?
Yeah, it's two different things. It has nothing to do with legalizing it for you to be able to just smoke it and consume it.
But at least they'll be able to, because Schedule 1 is like, this is an addictive substance that's prone to abuse and there's no medical use for it. That's what the definition of Schedule 1 is, right? So when they bring it down to Schedule 3, then they're going to be able to do some kind of research on it. We can see some actual studies and
Right.
shit after that, right?
Yep.
Maybe we'll
Yep.
see. We'll see. But-
Well, I mean, they're already doing some of those things, right? Like they're already doing research. People are doing it all the time. We read about it all the time.
Mhm.
So maybe they'll be able to do more of it and dedicate money to it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Let's go on and see what else it says here. Instead, it would primarily alter how the substance is regulated and taxed. Currently, federal income tax deductions for business expenses are unavailable to enterprises involved in in quotes now, trafficking any Schedule 1 or 2 drug. Changing cannabis to a Schedule 3 drug could therefore result in significant tax savings for businesses licensed to sell cannabis in states where it is legal. Furthermore, it could facilitate research into cannabis, as conducting authorized clinical studies on Schedule 1 substances is exceptionally difficult.
That's what I said.
Despite
That's
these,
what I said. Yeah.
yeah. Mhm. That's right. It's like
Sorry.
you've seen this before or something.
Maybe.
Despite these potential changes, a congressional research service report suggests that the reluctance of many banks and financial institutions to provide services to cannabis businesses due to the potential for federal penalties is unlikely to change merely by rescheduling cannabis under the Federal Controlled Substances Act, which I don't know why it wouldn't. But let's go on
Anybody
here.
who doesn't like Trump and gets easily triggered by Trump should look away from the screen right now. Scroll.
Scrolling by.
That's right. He's gone now, everybody. Don't worry. He's under your bed
Right.
instead. Rah!
He's in the
You know?
closet.
Yeah, maybe he is in the closet. You never know.
He might be,
Anyway,
perchance.
sorry, changing the
Perchance.
subject.
So,
you know?
what could President Trump do? So, he is currently weighing the pros and cons of such a policy change, acknowledging it is a very complicated subject. He stated on Monday, "I've heard great things having to do with medical use of cannabis and bad things having to do with just about everything else." As a candidate, President Trump appeared open to relaxed regulation, having posted on his social media platform last year that he would focus on research to unlock the medical uses of cannabis to a Schedule 3 drug. However, reclassification faces resistance from some conservatives and law enforcement groups. The National Sheriff's Association, for instance, submitted written opposition, citing prior determinations that cannabis has a high abuse potential and highlighting cases of extreme intoxication and fatal vehicle crashes. I call bullshit
Yep.
on both of
Yeah.
those. Like, ugh.
Like on the reclassification,
Show me
it
your
doesn't
sources
do
on that.
anything. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
like it's not legalizing it at that point, and even if it was,
Right.
fuck these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so even if it was, even if they legalized and like was like, oh sorry, here's all your stuff now, you can have it now. Still, fuck you guys, man. How long you keep that shit illegal for? Fuck you, motherfuckers. We owe you no fucking favors. These people piss me off. Sorry, I'm gonna go on a fucking rant here. These fuck. It's just ridiculous, man. Who the fuck do they think they are? Jesus. Try and tell us that we're the criminals because we enjoy a particular kind of herb. Why they drop bombs on children in the Middle East?
Yeah.
These fucking fuck you, man. Fuck you. Sorry, John. Sorry, John. As you were. Fuck.
Sorry. Try to reel it back in, everybody.
Jesus.
Here we go. Everybody
Triggers
calm
me.
down
Sorry.
just a minute.
Oh.
Let's try to make it through this. We're almost done. At the state level, the medical use of cannabis is already permitted in 40 states and the District of Columbia. Over the past dozen years, the number of jurisdictions legalizing recreational cannabis for adults has rapidly increased to 24 states. Woo! And the District of Columbia, but that's not a state. However, the movement has experienced some recent setbacks. What? Last autumn, ballot measures to legalize recreational cannabis failed in Florida, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Florida's measure, while receiving a majority vote, fell short of the 60% threshold required to approve
Because
amendments
didn't
to
they
the
also
state
increase?
constitution.
Didn't they also increase the threshold for that particular vote from
I
50% to 60% or something like that? Wasn't there some
I don't
like
know about that one.
fuckery? I thought there was some fuckery around that one.
Yeah, there
There
always
probably
is.
was fuckery. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So stupid, stupid. This year, Idaho lawmakers referred proposed constitutional amendment to the ballot that would forbid citizens in initiatives to legalize cannabis, instead reserving such decisions solely for the legislature. Initiatives continue elsewhere to try and place recreational cannabis on the ballot, including in Oklahoma, where voters defeated a similar measure in 2023. Public opinion data indicates significant support for legalization. Approximately 6 in 10 voters across the
Wow.
country favor legalizing
lot.
recreational
Mhm.
use nationwide. I feel like I've heard higher than that, but we'll go with
Yeah,
60.
Well, the
I mean,
four,
Yeah.
that's okay.
the 4 and 10 are probably just waiting to die.
Right, exactly.
So,
Jesus, Margaret.
sorry,
Gosh.
But it's crazy that you've seen a lot more elderly using it.
that's also
Mhm.
true. So
Honestly.
maybe I'm incorrect about that. There are a lot of
You
seniors who
know?
are interested in cannabis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Degenerate
finish this
druggies.
off. Where did I leave off? I forgot. uh, let's see. According to AP Votecast, a survey of over 120,000 U.S. voters conducted during last year's election, that's where those numbers came from. Polling from Gallup shows support for cannabis legalization has grown substantially from just 36% support in 2005 to 68%
Wow.
last year. See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's fucking crazy. 68%.
that's almost 7 in 10, right? Like, that's a
Fucking
lot.
legalized. You're being told what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You need that much, or you only need that much to like do certain amendments and stuff in our constitution, right? Like 2/3.
You know what I would like to
or
see? I
whatever.
would like to see a study similar, like should tobacco be legal or illegal, and same with alcohol, and see what kind of statistics that lines up to. Because not everybody
Right.
thinks alcohol should be legal, and not everybody thinks tobacco should be
Mhm.
legal. I wonder if they're a similar number now. I wonder if you did that
If
kind
it's
of
like kind of
questionnaire, yeah, would it all be around 70% of people thinking it
Right.
should be legal and illegal? That would be an interesting statistic to see. That would.
Yeah, that would be a good one. They should do that. You should write to somebody about that. Shoot somebody a text.
We'll do it ourselves in the poll. Let's go YouTube poll. You know.
Oh, okay. We haven't had one in a while.
Well, we got a little bit of a biased audience though. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
a bit.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
But it would be interesting
Let's
to see.
see.
Sorry, John.
One last little push. More than 64 million Americans aged 12 and older, or 22.3% of people, reported using cannabis during the past year, according to a 2024 national survey released recently by the Federal Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. This marks an increase from 19% of people in 2021. The growth in cannabis use was primarily driven by adults aged 26 and older, although people aged 18 to 25 remained the most likely to partake, with 35% reporting use during the year.
Right.
I mean, first of all, who's asking a 12-year-old this question? Or is this somewhere that they went to the doctor and they asked them, you got a cold, have you been using marijuana?
You
Like,
know.
is that how that came out, or what?
Well, and there's probably a ton of people who aren't going to
Right.
self-report if they've been using it because they live in a place where it's super illegal. So if
Right.
you live in Colorado, California, you're like, yeah, I've used weed. Sure, but
Yeah.
Yep.
you know,
That's
you
a big
live
part of
somewhere
the
else.
statistics. That is people
Yep.
who will not say that they use cannabis, even though they do, because it's illegal.
Yeah.
And like, just scroll back to that photo in the article for a minute, if you don't
Oh,
mind.
got rid of the article there now. Let's go.
Did you?
But you mean the Trump article, the Trump picture?
Yeah. I was gonna
What?
say, everybody, look at this. Look at this photo and tell me, how much cocaine do you think he's done in his lifetime? And yet he's saying it's complicated. Like,
No,
None.
Trump claims to be drug free and
now
alcohol
he
free.
might
He
be.
And
doesn't even
alcohol-free.
drink.
Now.
Never has allegedly.
Well, I don't know
Allegedly.
if I believe any
Allegedly.
of that.
Which
think
just makes me
somebody would come out
skeptical
and
of it. You know, if somebody comes up to me and be like, "I've never drank, never smoked," I'll be like, "You're a fucking weirdo, man." You know?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with you? You never dropped a tab of acid, bro.
Right.
We cannot be friends.
I knew
know?
one guy like that, actually. It was like a relative, and he was insufferable. So,
Was he a vegan too?
no, surprisingly, but God,
Right?
just
No
Oh
offense to
my God.
vegans. It's just a joke.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So there you go. That's yeah. That's as much information as you're probably going to get, and it's again not going to legalize it federally.
You see what
Regardless.
happens,
it's so
innit?
tough to
See what
say too,
happens.
because I feel like a lot of the people that he's surrounded by are like very anti-weed, like the Charlie Kirks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately,
They're all for like personal freedoms and shit, unless it comes to drugs, and then they're like, "No, you can't do that." It's like,
It
there's a lot
depends
of
on what
personal
it is,
freedoms they
though.
don't
That's a
believe in.
drug, right?
Yeah.
Like they get to pick and choose, and the reason they're choosing to say that this is a quote unquote drug is because it's been that way for 100 years.
Yeah.
We've been
Like,
told that. We've
and they're
been,
like
you know what I
to
mean?
decide. They're trying to decide this, and then you like. Have I not seen videos online of Elon Musk tripping balls on ketamine in the Oval Office? Like that?
Allegedly, Margaret.
Allegedly.
He's a very rich and powerful man. We have to be careful
Well,
what
yes,
we say.
we must have
you
a
know?
separate set of laws for him, shouldn't we?
That's
Right.
right. That's right. He might just have been tired, Margaret. Just
Maybe.
tired.
Yeah,
It's possible.
You know,
I've been
overworked
really
because he's
tired
got
before, too,
13
though.
kids, you know?
Yeah, I think he looks after like one of them.
Holy.
but-
Yeah, anyway. Margaret trying to get us banned. Gosh.
Dang it, Margaret. Holy.
Anyway, let's move on to the next article here because we're having loads of fun here. We're running over time on all of these articles so far.
Sorry, everybody.
We got 80% of NHS doctors would prescribe medical cannabis. UK poll finds. So I assume this was a UK poll of just doctors. Well, a new survey of NHS doctors was highlighted a growing demand for alternative treatment options for complex health issues such as chronic pain and women's health-related concerns. And this is from Sarah Sinclair from Cannabis Health News. If you want to check that out, she's got loads of good articles over there. Out of 500 doctors, which is a decent size, a decent study, out of 500 doctors currently practicing in the NHS, almost half of which were GPs, 3/4 said that the treatment options for women's health conditions such as endometriosis, PMDD, and menopause are too limited. Meanwhile, over 2/3, 67%, say patients with chronic pain conditions take up the vast majority of their week and feel there are too few options for treating patients with conditions such as fibromyalgia, arthritis, and back pain. And you know, can I just say, like, after reaching a certain age here, I'm finding things just generally more painful day by day. People,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's like, what the fuck, man? I was fine until I hit like the 40s, and then I'm like, why does this hurt now? You know?
Yeah, getting old is
Or
not for the weak.
You know what I mean?
Or
You know what it was?
sneeze and throw your back
No,
out.
I was mashing the potatoes and I didn't warm up first. You know what I mean? You got to do stretches before washing
So
the
funny.
fucking dishes now.
'Cause it's
Fuck.
so true.
You know? Sorry, everybody. We'll go back on this. Yeah. So, you know, people are not getting their weed. I don't know what they're saying here so far. We'll carry on. The poll also highlighted concerns about the overprescribed and long-term use of opioids, with 3/4, that's 75%, of doctors believing that typical treatments for chronic pain have worrying long-term side effects, and the majority saying the UK is over-reliant on these managed chronic pain symptoms. And yes, the drugs they give people for chronic pain in the UK are fucking crazy. My missus has problems with pain, and she was prescribed this shit called gabapentin before, and I had a little bit of back pain, and I don't do, if I have pain of any kind, cannabis is my pain relief, and it's very, very rare. I have to be in bad pain for me to take even a paracetamol. You know, I don't do any of this shit. But my missus, she had these painkillers, and one of them was called gabapentin. And I just had one of those pills, and I was fucked.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
So fucked. It wasn't nice, man. And since then, I was like, I don't care how much pain I'm in. I'm not taking one of those things again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they
I'll take these mushrooms, but
you know what I mean? I'll take these natural medicines, but give me that shit in that capsule there. Fuck that. No. it's not for me. I don't like any kind of pain relief like that. Cannabis should be the first option. And I'm just saying that they prescribe these pills to people. It's just a normal thing. Like, yeah, you in pain? Yeah, take these. How many people are actually
Yeah.
fucking wasted off these drugs and we don't even realize? They want to tell us that we're not allowed to smoke a
All of
joint?
them.
Fuck,
All of
man.
them.
Everybody over 40, right? You know?
All the
Yeah.
time, everywhere, all at
Fuck.
once.
Anyway,
Or
I
whenever you
digress.
want.
Sorry about it, everybody. But, we asked about the type of alternative treatment they believe should be available. Almost 9 in 10, that's 87%, they say, doctors agreed that they'd be open to prescribing medical cannabis to manage chronic pain. And 80% of GPs would prescribe it to manage women's health conditions if it were part of the NHS toolkit. So why isn't it part of... That's... 87% is huge.
That's all. That's like almost all of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a few that didn't understand the question. You know?
But
Yeah.
let's not listen to the doctors. and
You know what I
they're
mean? You know,
suggesting.
let's
You know
not
what I
listen
mean?
to
Yeah.
the fucking specialists now, because the politicians,
Oh
they
my
know
God.
best. God
Right.
damn. God damn. Dr. Nikki Ramskill, a GP and the founder of the Female Health Doctor Clinic, highlighted the urgent need for more tailored treatments for conditions such as endometriosis, PMDD, and chronic pelvic pain, with existing options rarely addressing the underlying cause. And that's the problem. They'll just give you the pills. They won't be like, oh, let's try and fix this issue by giving you some kind of physical therapy, because they can't afford that now. The NHS is broke.
Right.
So they just keep throwing pills at you. And, you know, live with the condition for 10 years until the pills kill you. And then, yeah, then everything
Yeah.
will be cool.
Right.
You know, rather than using cannabis.
Right.
Which can
Cannabis
also
is
like help your symptoms, the underlying
so many
cause,
things.
and your quality of life.
Correct.
Damn.
Mhm.
Ridiculous. Too often, women are offered antidepressants or painkillers as a default, despite symptoms being hormonal, inflammatory, or complex in origin, she says. These medications rarely address the underlying cause. Part of the problem is the historic lack of research into female health and limited training for healthcare professionals in this area. Combined with long NHS waiting times, allegedly, many women are left suffering in silence. You've got to be careful what you say in the UK nowadays. You've got to be careful. You know, we need more personalised, better informed approach to truly meet women's healthcare needs. Women deserve to know about it, is one of the headings they have here. Waiting lists for gynecological appointments have more than doubled since 2020, and as a result, an increased number of women are looking for alternative or complementary treatments. The UK Medical Cannabis Clinic, Alternaleaf, which conducted the survey, biased much, says it has issued thousands of prescriptions to treat women's health conditions over the last 12 months. Kirsty Baker, 56, from Cardiff, was battling acute menopause symptoms after undergoing a hysterectomy. Despite reaching out for help, the treatment options offered by her GP left her feeling worse, which you hear a lot of. You know, it's like these pills don't work a lot of the time.
Oh, a lot of side effects too, right?
Yeah, and the side effects,
Yeah.
you know, which they say really fast in the advert, so you can't really understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
May cause extreme diarrhea, fatigue,
Death.
you know.
Yeah.
They gave me antidepressants like Steroline and venlafaxine, but they didn't work, Kirsty says. I felt woozy, hungover, not myself. It was a chemical chaos in my body. I did try estrogen patches, but because of the hysterectomy, it wasn't enough. Like many women, Kirsty had received little to no information about what to expect during menopause. Nobody talks about it, she says. I thought I was going mad. I didn't realize what was happening until a friend said, "You sound like you're starting the perimenopause." Yeah, you know, I don't know, Margaret, because I don't know if you're aware, but I'm a male, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm
but-
aware.
Do you feel like it doesn't get spoken about enough when it comes to menopause and perimenopause?
I think it's starting to change a little bit now, actually. People are
Cool.
starting to talk about it more and stuff, but for a very long time, I think it was very secretive. It wasn't talked about a lot. It was almost like shameful to talk about,
Right.
kind of thing. So I think definitely a lot of women were like, what the fuck is going on with my body right now? And then they would go to their doctors and be kind of like, here, just take this antidepressant, shut the fuck up and get out. They were like,
Yeah.
medically gaslit. And
Right.
yeah, but it is changing now, I think, because just more women are like, we're going to talk about it. Fuck you. It's a natural
Yeah,
thing.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's
And cannabis
ridiculous,
can
man.
help.
And this is the thing as well. And this article goes on for a while. I won't read any more of it. We all get the gist of it by now, right? A shitload of
Mm-hmm.
doctors who work for the NHS say they would prescribe cannabis if it was available for them to prescribe.
Not
So
just a
why
shit
wouldn't?
ton,
Right.
but
Yeah, yeah,
87%.
87%.
And as you said, the rest didn't understand the question. So,
Yeah, or refuse
yeah,
to answer because they were
They got the wrong
worried
color
about their
crayon.
job.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
It's just madness, man. With the majority, the huge majority like that, saying this kind of thing, why isn't it being done? Why are they not listening to the doctors? Why is it not made available to them? It's bullshit, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, especially when you consider how toxic a lot of the typical
Yeah,
treatments can be. And it's not to
for
say that
real.
there isn't a place for them and that people how can benefit from them, but sometimes even combining those with other treatments with like along with cannabis or whatever.
Well, I
But if
think
doctors have
cannabis
options,
first. Cannabis
yeah.
first. Try that first. Try this reasonably harmless substance that nature has created. Try that first. And if that doesn't work, we'll go for the extreme lab made shit. How does that sound?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it should
Mm-hmm.
be.
Ooh-wee.
Anyway, yeah.
Yep.
And we got a nice segue here to onto the next article about medical marijuana significantly decreases use of opioids by chronic pain patients.
Oh, we're going to go to that one, are we?
Yeah, we might as well.
Okay.
It kind of segues
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it from here. You
Well,
know?
it's I go back to Margaret's article she read first. Like, first Trump was part of that article. Now opioids were also part of that article. But it sounded, I can't remember for sure, but it sounded like it was a little gaslighting on that too. Where like, oh, it's not really doing as much as they say. But we have this for marijuana moment. Medical marijuana significantly decreases use of opioids by chronic pain patients. New study finds. I'm liking this already. A new study is offering more evidence that marijuana, or cannabis, can serve as an effective substitute for opioid in pain management treatment. Researchers in Australia at Murdoch University and the Perth Pain Management Center, Century, set out to investigate how the integration of cannabinoids into treatment for people with chronic non-cancer pain would impact opioid use. The study published in the journal Pain Management on Monday determined that co-prescription of cannabinoids may enable patients to reduce their opioid consumption prescribed for chronic benign pain. To assess the relationship between cannabis and opioids in treatment, researchers followed two cohorts of patients over the course of a year. One group of 102 patients at a pain clinic who were already taking opioids and were co-prescribed cannabis, and another group of 53 patients at a different clinic who were only receiving opioids without cannabis. That's not a
Boo.
big study.
Yeah, I'd
Right?
hate to be in
Could have
that
been
group.
bigger.
You know?
Yeah. At the baseline, the median patient was taking about 40 milligrams of opioids per day. After a year, the group that received a median dose of medical cannabis containing 15 milligrams of Delta 9, THC, and 15 milligrams of CBD
That's a heavy dose, right?
significantly, I mean, maybe. I mean, that's about I don't know.
It's like
It's about
10
a gummy.
milligrams is nice for a recreational dose, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, for sure.
Yeah.
5 is
10
good for me.
milligrams. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Anyway.
it significantly decreased their opioid dose to 2.7 milligrams per day. So
Wow.
almost eliminating it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy, man. The opioid only cohort after 1 year was taking a median of 42.3 milligrams per day. So they didn't change at all, really. And if anything, went up, maybe a little bit. The introduction of cannabinoids can produce useful reductions in opioid consumption in real-world settings, with additional benefits for disability and insomnia, the study authors said. However, this treatment is tolerated by only a subgroup of patients. Among the cohort that incorporated cannabis into their treatment regimen, opioid consumption decreased significantly after both 6 and 12 months. Physically physical activity and sleep also improved. These findings indicate that medicinal cannabis can help patients to reduce their opioid consumption and improve their physical activity and sleep, the study concluded. The findings are also consistent with a growing body of scientific literature exploring the association between cannabis and opioid use. For example, a study published earlier this year in the journal Drug and Alcohol Review found that among drug users who experience chronic pain, daily cannabis use was linked to a higher likelihood of quitting the use of opioids, especially among men.
It's quite disappointing, really. You see that the study published earlier this year in the Journal of Drug and Alcohol Review. I would expect to find different kind of things in a review like that. Like, how good is this whiskey? What's an acid trip like? You know, what's the difference? You know what I mean? They just let me down
journal.
there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would have read that book. You know, it's like that book Dominic Milton Trott made, isn't it? That the Drug Users Bible. There, check that out, everybody. That's a real drug and alcohol review. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that's
anyway.
right.
Sorry,
that's right. A study published late last year also found that legalizing medical cannabis appeared to significantly reduce monetary payments from opioid manufacturers to doctors who specialize in pain, with authors finding evidence that this decrease is due to medical cannabis becoming available as a substitute for prescription painkillers. Other recent research also showed a decline in fatal opioid overdoses in jurisdictions where cannabis was legalized for adults. That study found a consistent negative relationship between legalization and fatal overdoses, with more significant effects in states that legalized cannabis earlier in the opioid crisis. Authors estimated that recreational cannabis legalization is associated with a decrease of approximately 3.5 deaths per 100,000 individuals. 100,000 individuals. Our findings suggest that broadening recreational cannabis access could help address the opioid epidemic, that report said. Previous research legally indicates that marijuana or cannabis, primarily for medical use, can reduce opioid prescriptions, and we find it may also successfully reduce overdose deaths. Another recently published report into prescription opioid use in Utah following the state's legalization of cannabis, medical cannabis, found that the availability of legal cannabis both reduced opioid use by patients with chronic pain and helped drive down prescription overdose deaths statewide. Overall results of the study indicated that cannabis has a substantial role to play in pain management and the reduction of opioid use, it said. Yet another study published in 2023 linked medical cannabis use to lower pain levels and reduce dependence on opioids and other prescription medications. And another published by the American Medical Association last February found that chronic pain patients who received medical cannabis for longer than a month saw significant reductions in prescribed opioids. About 1 in 3 chronic pain patients reported using cannabis as a treatment option, according to a 2023 AMA published report. Most of that group said they use cannabis as a substitute for other pain medications, including opioids. There's a couple, there's mostly just more research there, more studies. Like all those studies are good, saying exactly the same thing. I'm just looking to see if there's any other parts of this besides just talking about other stuff.
Well, this is what we've seen, isn't it? Like, there's on average the states that legalize cannabis for medical use have seen a 2 billion reduction in profits for big pharma. A 2 billion with a B. You know, it's a huge amount of money, and it's one of the reasons why we've tried to keep it illegal for so long, because cannabis helps so much with so many things that they would lose money if people were able to produce their own medicines at home, and quite significantly as well. You know.
Yeah. I mean, this. What more proof do they need? There's like 5 or 6 studies right there or papers that were written about the same thing. So
the proof they need is how much money goes into the bank. That's allegedly,
right? Sorry. Allegedly, or into the envelope, what have you?
That's right.
Yeah, that's good news, right? Everybody likes that article right there.
People should definitely be using more cannabis and less big pharma shit, in my opinion.
Yep.
But I'm not a doctor,
Yep.
so I don't know. Make your own decisions about that. You
But
know?
I play one on.
That's right, but I
you
play one on
a
TV.
cannabis show.
You know? That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
let's rush into the next two because we're already going over time. Yeah, fuck, you know, look at us. We've been here an hour, chatting shit. Jesus. So the next one, we have U.S. teens fail to complete rehabilitation for cannabis use disorder. And I thought Margaret could cover this one because it's got the cud in
They
it, like last
failed.
week.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They have what in it?
Cud.
Cud.
Oh, our favorite
Yeah.
acronym.
Remember, I
All
could.
right.
Remember,
I do.
remember that joke?
I do.
It's
How could I
hilarious.
forget? U.S. teens
Oh,
fail to
shit.
complete rehabilitation for cannabis use disorder. Cannabis
gosh.
use in adolescents has reportedly decreased in recent years in the U.S. However, it still remains a threat. I love that use of the word threat in there.
Dun,
To
dun,
the health of the
dun.
young adult populations. Treatment of cannabis use disorder involves different types of behavioral interventions. Teenagers in the U.S. typically begin using cannabis before high school, ages 14 or 15, where brain development is at its most critical. Research has shown that cannabis can significantly impact this vital stage of neurodevelopment, posing both short and long-term risks. The study published in open access journal Pediatric Reports by researchers from the USA shows that a majority of adolescents admitted to rehabilitation services failed to complete their treatment. The study explores the potential reasons for these reported statistics and highlights the importance of programs needed to address the lack of treatment continuity for afflicted teenagers in order to get the help they need. Here we go. Cannabis use disorder, or CUD, is a term characterized by the inability to stop using cannabis despite its impact on one's health and social life. Cannabis can be an addictive drug, inducing neurobiological effects in the brain that lead to its addiction and overuse. Cannabis addiction manifests through the drug's effect on the endocannabinoid system, which affects the brain's reward pathway. Dopamine, a vital component of the system, is a feel-good neurotransmitter and is critical for the key biological processes, ensuring well-being, focus, and good mood. Components within cannabis, such as THC, interact with the endocannabinoid system by increasing dopamine levels in the brain. This interaction results in addictive behavior as individuals seek out the feel-good effects that cannabis provides. Despite its addictive components, there may be potential medicinal benefits of cannabis. Among other factors, these benefits have contributed to its legalization and decriminalization in multiple countries across the globe, such as Canada. However, overuse of any drug is considered an issue which requires serious attention, particularly in teenagers who are in the critical stages of biological and psychological development. The development of treatment programs for CUD is important to address the deleterious effects of addiction. In adolescence, CUD is linked to short and long-term effects such as cognitive function and memory and impact on academic performance and social outcomes. The discussed study looked at outcomes and effectiveness of treatment programs for CUD in U.S. teens aged 12 to 17 years old. The
Source.
researchers, what's that?
Source. Want to see the source of this
Yeah,
study?
that's right.
Citation.
Citation needed. The
Mm-hmm.
researchers took data from 2018 to 2021, which included data on 40,054 participants diagnosed with CUD and admitted for treatment. They analyzed multiple trends of outcomes against factors such as gender, age, and ethnic background differences. The study found that only 36.8% of teenagers with CUD admitted to therapy had completed their treatment, with the most common reasons being dropping out or transferring to another facility.
Oh,
Furthermore, males and
hold on a second. What does that mean? It's like so they either dropped out or went to a new facility where they could have completely carried on with their treatment. So the
yeah,
percentage might even be higher than this. They're just manipulating it.
yeah.
Yep.
Furthermore, males and Black non-Hispanic participants had lower odds of completing their treatment, highlighting critical gender and ethnic disparities. Factors such as independent living, homelessness, and recent arrests decreased the chances of participants completing their treatment, reinforcing the socioeconomic relevance of drug relapse. In addition, those participants with additional substance use disorders and mental health issues had a lower chance of completing their treatment. The importance of research on the outcomes of drug addiction treatment in adolescence is a multifold and critical for public health, as explained by Lewis S. Nelson, Chief of Health Affairs at the Schmidt College of Medicine. And he says, research like this is essential because it gives us a clear picture of who is falling through the cracks and why. Adolescents are not just small adults. Their brains, behaviors, and environments demand approaches grounded in evidence and tailored to their unique needs. If we want to curb the long-term consequences of cannabis use, we must invest in data-driven strategies that improve access, retention, outcomes, especially among the most vulnerable youth. And they say we need more efficient programs. And there was a quote earlier that I skipped. I don't know if it was relevant or not, but
Oh
I
no,
skipped
no,
it.
I think it's fine.
So basically, if I had not smoked as much hash in high school as I did, I'd probably be a genius. So there's that.
Apparently,
Fuck that.
that's
Fuck
what they
that.
say.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe you just would be an alcoholic right now.
That's
You never know.
possible as well. Yeah, you never know.
Well,
That's
I've
very
seen
true.
this quote. We have this guy in the UK called Jeremy Clarkson. I don't know if you know who he is, but
No.
he pretty much, because the A level results for the kids came out today, like what school they got at college and all that shit. And he put a quote up on his X account or whichever social network it was, and he was just saying, "Don't worry about your A level results if you didn't get what you wanted, because I didn't even get any A levels, and now I'm here installing light bulbs onto the helipad in my back garden." So,
Yeah, right.
so fuck it, smoke the hash anyway. Who cares? I'm not
Well,
encouraging
it's
kids
funny
to
you
smoke
say
hash.
that
Shit.
because, like, I did not do that great in high school myself.
And
then I went to university and I crushed it. So,
yeah, it's
you know,
that time of your
sometimes,
life where you just,
yeah.
hormonal, man. It's a terrible time to expect anybody to do anything.
But they do talk a lot. I'm curious, like, who put out this article. I didn't really see, but they do talk an awful lot about cannabis as a drug and being like really addictive, which I find like addictive and with a lot high potential of overuse, which is kind of an interesting way to view it.
Yeah.
Like, is this one of these things where they're like, no, this is it's an article for a rehab clinic or or what?
Maybe that's what it is, but
Yeah.
you gotta pay. I don't know if it's a good advertising for a rehab clinic though, because it's like
Yeah,
2/3
that's
of
it.
people ain't gonna
A
make
bunch of
it.
kids don't finish. Yeah. But it also seems like too that a lot of the kids that they're talking about here have a lot of shit going on in their lives. Like cannabis might be one of the things that's compounding issues, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on.
Anyway, so one more we'll quickly run through here before we end the news. We have half of deputies back cannabis decriminalisation. This is in Guernsey. I'll quickly read through some of this. Half of Guernsey deputies support decriminalising cannabis, according to research by the BBC. So, keep your pinch of salt there, everybody. 11 of the island's 38 politicians have said they are either undecided on the issue or will wait to see any proposals before making a decision because they have no backbone. They won't stand up and speak their own mind. They need to see what they're supposed to say first. That isn't in the article. That's me going off on a random tangent. Sorry, everybody. While 4 have expressed their opposition, while 19 supported plans to decriminalise the Class B drug locally. Andy Cameron, Vice President for Education, Sport and Culture, said, I believe the time has come to seriously explore the legalisation, regulation and taxation of cannabis in Guernsey. During the previous political term, Health and Social Care stated a high-level scoping exercise to examine the legal status of cannabis, but that work was paused after 12 months. HSC President George Oswald was one of those without a firm view on the issue and said his committee looks forward to working with other committees in the work stream, and we look forward to any proposals from the Committee of Home Affairs. So pretty much saying, you pass me that envelope, mate, and I'll fucking say whatever you want me to say. That's allegedly.
Yep.
Committee for Home Affairs, President Mark Leadbeater, I bet he had a fun time in school, has been a long time advocate of reforming the island's drug laws. Previously, some deputies have warned the UK government would not allow Guernsey to relax its island's drug laws. Yeah, because you got to do what the government tells you now. What is decriminalisation? Cannabis decriminalisation is different to legalisation. Decriminalisation, which is favoured by many deputies, reduces and eliminates criminal penalties for possessing small amounts of cannabis. Guernsey and Bailiwick courts take offence related to the possession and trafficking of drugs extremely seriously, while legalization refers to the removal of all legal prohibitions against cannabis, allowing adults to purchase and use it similarly to alcohol or tobacco, and equivalent to Amsterdam, because Amsterdam isn't legalized, they're decriminalized.
Right.
Many politicians in Guernsey have said they want to see the island move towards a Canadian model of decriminalisation, where people have legal and regulated access to recreational cannabis. Mr. Cameron said Guernsey currently has a de facto decriminalisation of cannabis. But to be fair, parts of the UK have de facto decriminalisation of everything because there's no fucking funds to keep the police force running and they don't prosecute crime anymore. But yeah, allegedly, sorry, I keep forgetting about this online safety bill. Really got to be careful what I say now. Almost anyone can obtain a medical cannabis prescription, often for minor conditions. The volume of prescriptions that fuels widespread diversion market, yet contrary to past concerns, the sky hasn't fallen in. So yeah, blah blah blah. As we can see, there's a large percentage of the. Oh, but there's only a little bit left. I'll finish it off. What work has already been done in 2022? Politicians voted as part of the debate of the government work plan to allow HSC to do some work scoping a review of decriminalising the drug. However, the lack of resources at officer level within HSC led to that work being paused in the last political term. So yeah, it's like they were going to figure shit out. And they're like, oh, quick! They're nearly end. Stop them. Some newly elected deputies, including Deputy David Doherty, said they wanted to see that work completed before they made any decisions on whether Class B substances should be decriminalised locally. So there we go.
Okay.
It's interesting, though, because most of the politicians want to decriminalize.
Yeah, well, it depends on the envelopes they're getting.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It should have been done already. At least decriminalisation, but then proper legalisation and regulation. That's the way we need to go. Like alcohol, like coffee, like tobacco, all of that shit properly legalised and regulated to make sure that there's a less chance of people abusing it and causing harm to themselves. So
that's what bugs me, though, is they always talk about, like, oh, it's partly for public safety and, like, all this shit, but they won't decriminalize it. Which, if it's criminalized, if you're criminalizing people for using something that's really a non-violent kind of, like, it's usually involved with non-violent crimes or whatever. You really care that much about the people if you're just going to give them a criminal record that will follow them around for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Like,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mental.
You can decriminalize while you're talking about legalization.
So here in the UK, as we said, that we had the NHS doctors, 87% are like, yeah, you need to really sort this shit out so we can prescribe it to people. Then you got deputies of police forces saying, yo, you really need to decriminalize this shit. You think the government gives a fuck what any of these people are saying?
Which is wild, because these are the people, like, front lines. Like, cops are dealing with criminals all the time. They're like, look, we got bigger fish to fry.
Right.
And the government's like, nah, we know best. Shut up. Do your job. We'll tell you what to think. Don't question it. Otherwise, we'll lock you up. Don't be putting anything that could be deemed as offensive upon the internet anywhere, because we'll arrest you. But,
oh my goodness,
go out and steal a bike at knife point and you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, or smash a bunch of windows in cars and rob them.
You know what I mean? That's fine. Just don't put them nasty words on the internet now, everybody. Gosh. Anyway, I'm not going to get carried away anymore on that rant because, as I said, online safety bill, everybody. I have to be careful what I say nowadays.
That's right.
Half joking.
That's right.
Half joking.
Not.
But yeah, there's no forum news to add right now. I don't think. It last few days to get involved in the plant of the month if you haven't entered your entry over there yet. So get involved in that if you haven't done that yet. But anything else? What's going on Bite Me side of things, Margaret? Any news?
Well, it's sort of like the tail end of the summer, so I
thought you was going to break into song there. You was like, Savignon, Buddha. You know that one?
I leave the singing to John. For those of you who don't know, John likes to sing me into the Zoom call when I
do.
When
it's
log
wonderful.
On. I actually rather enjoy that very much. So
it's a beautiful moment. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm talking to a lot of folks about coming onto the show for guests. That's sort of what I've been working on lately.
Yeah. I need to do the same thing. Find some new guests. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the mission this week, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. And
Good
what were you
stuff.
saying, John? You ready to reveal any news about your podcast yet, or what?
No.
Gosh.
No.
Gosh.
You
Spoiler
started a
alert,
podcast?
everybody.
Well, I've been wanting to for a while,
Do
and
it,
I
lady.
kind of did for a minute. But
Do it,
then
lady.
got busy, and then I've been doing this, and other things came up, and
You mean life?
Yeah.
extra, like beyond, like when you add extra, man. Like for some reason I'm dumb, and I got to take on extra hobbies that actually turn into something, and that's just
Hey, it's a
Yeah.
good thing, John. It's a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Keep
there's
doing it.
worse things, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Turning
for
your
sure.
hobbies into career. You know,
Yeah.
find a job you love, you'll never go to work again. You know that, or it
That's
could
the lie
completely
they
ruin
sold
your
us.
love of the hobby. You know,
Mhm.
that's another thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there we go. That's all the news and events. Let's take a 10-minute smoke break. Chat some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Let's do it, lady.
Yeah. So anybody out there watch The Sopranos? What are you saying? Fuck. Fuck. I watched
Oh,
been watching The Sopranos for the last couple of months here because I got the DVD box set for real cheap. So I was like, yeah, I'll buy that and I'll watch it. And it was good TV, man. But then I watched the last episode and how it ends, and now I'm blown away. Blown
I'd be
away
like, "Don't
by how
tell
good
me,
that
no
was.
spoilers. But
That's
they
it. I
do
don't want to
have
say
some
anything
spoilers.
and offer any spoilers. But yeah, Hawaii Sustainable in the chat there said rewatching is overdue. Get on it. Watch it. The Sopranos.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, now. Yeah, it's
I'm
great.
just gonna-
Um,
I'm just going to grab a drink. Be right
Cool.
back.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna message
You
the
know-
wife and
you know-
maybe she can bring me a drink.
You know what we missed here in the beginning?
What did we miss?
To find out what everybody's smoking on, man.
Oh yeah. What you got, John?
Well-
I assume you've got something to tell us, considering that you bought
No,
it.
no. I was just like, we're hitting smoke break, and we didn't even ask what everybody's smoking on. Red. That's what got in my brain about it. No, I'm just I've decided to name the Lemon Sky Cross with Cinderella 99 Lemonella 99. I think that's a good ring.
Is that the name you come up with yourself? Lemonella.
Listen, I'm not going to take full on credit for that. Chat GPT.
Oh right, yeah, but fucking still, that's you made the
Yeah.
prompt, bro. You made the prompt.
Yep, I made the prompt. Yes, I did. So yeah,
Jesus.
but I mean, like that's a good one. So I'm just smoking on a little bit of that. Still trying that out. It's pretty tasty.
Irish grower said I haven't, but it's on the list. Speaking about Sopranos, and then said Macky ... did ? Did what? You're confusing me, bro. Yeah, I'm on the SOS weed, of course. But yeah, that Sopranos ending, man. Fuck, it got me shocked. That man. The ending is a controversial one. Everybody, it's some people think that it was really good, others think it was really bad, and I'm one of those that are like, damn, that's a fucking artistic ending right there. So yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. Gotta go watch Sopranos.
I gotta
everybody. Good
watch
TV.
it again. I haven't watched
Yeah.
it in so long, man. That
Good TV.
I just got to do it again.
Yeah,
Like
I enjoyed it.
it was a good show, man.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. Because what is there? Seven seasons of that?
How many
Well,
episodes are in each season?
About 12. There's 6.5 seasons, I would say. That's the best way to put it. Because season 6, you had a first half and then a second half.
Oh yeah, we were talking about
Yeah.
that last week.
Mm.
Yeah, the fuck up with the DVDs here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Mrs. Mackey just bought me a beverage there.
Thank you, Mrs. Mackey.
Lovely, jubbly. She can't hear you. No.
Yeah, you're
Well,
supposed to
we
yell it
know-
at her.
Yeah, we know she
Jesus.
can't hear us.
I just...
You're supposed to relay
up.
the
Johnson, thank
message,
you.
Mackie.
There you go, John.
Damn
There
it.
you go.
Thanks,
Just-
buddy. As
shout
she's
out the door
downstairs,
there.
out the
You know what I'm saying?
door.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gone now. There you go. And she's like, why did he shout that down the stairs? What the... He doesn't normally do that. What's going on? Yeah, but yeah, good TV. That Sopranos shit. God damn.
Yep.
And now I'm needing to find another TV show to watch. Damn.
Well, it's gonna be fine. You're gonna find something.
I'll find something. I want to go back and watch some of them old school movies, you know, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because I've never seen that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yesterday, I watched Falling Down. Because
I
now
haven't
we
seen
don't
that
have a
in a long
season to
time.
watch. Yeah, well, I've seen it and it was a good movie,
Is,
but the missus has never seen it.
is that the one
Mm,
with Kirk
Kurt
Douglas?
Russell,
No,
Kurt Doug, yeah, that
I was
guy.
thinking Douglas.
There it is,
Which one?
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Michael
That's it. Yeah,
Douglas,
Hmm.
that's right.
yeah. That's the one he's stuck in traffic at the beginning and he gets out of his
Spoiler
car.
alerts. Spoiler alerts.
That's
But,
that's like
but
that's how
yes.
the movie opens.
But yes.
Yeah, that was pretty messed
Fuck, you
up.
know. Vegan. What's that? Vegan. Where are you? Vegan Gaman said a movie edit. You all seen the 1993 Mario Brothers movie? Remember that shit, bro?
Was there a Mario Brothers movie?
Oh, yeah, it was so bad, but because it was so young, it was good, you know?
Well, yeah, you had to be 12 to enjoy it. Is
But
that
I
what you're
couldn't
saying?
watch it now and
Okay.
be like, oh, that's a good movie. Oh my God. The cinematography in this classic is like, yeah, I don't think that would work, you know? But good shit back in the day. Yeah.
I don't think I saw that cinematic masterpiece.
No, you should watch it.
I don't think I should.
Maybe
Just
not. Maybe not.
Just gonna
Yeah.
skip that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Good back
since
in.
Mario was brought up, does anybody know that Marissa Tomei can be redone as "It's a Me, a Mario"?
No.
What?
What's
It's
Marissa
me,
Tomei?
Mario. Marissa Tomei, the actress.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you take the letters of her name and rearrange them, it will come out as
Oh.
"It's me,
Wow.
Mario."
Wow.
It's a me, Mario.
That's the random fact of the week. Fuck it. Hell.
That is yeah, definitely a random fact.
Yep. Also, all her movies are great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
what's
got
the
a fan
Mario
here.
Brothers' last name? You know what I'm saying? Operation Annihilation. It's like you got Mario and Luigi, the Mario brothers, but what the
They
fuck?
are Mario. I don't understand it. I think it's Mario.
Got Mario.
I think it's Mario and Luigi Mario. That's what I
Wow.
think. Because they're
It's
the
got-
Mario brothers.
Wow.
Oh, interesting. Mario, Luigi Mario?
Yeah,
I've
you're
never
gonna
even
have
thought
some
about
like
that before.
inferiority complex if you're Luigi there.
I think you should ask ChatGPT for that right now.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna waste ChatGPT's time and
I'll
shit like
fucking
that.
do it.
You know.
I'm gonna do it. Just to piss you off.
Mario,
Yeah. See,
Luigi,
Ned-
Mario. Yeah. Ned agrees.
Yeah.
That is
Oh
interesting.
my god. Yeah.
What is going on here?
What?
Good
This-
movie.
I don't
You're
know.
both
my
saying Mario
computers are
wrong.
working.
Mario. It's Mario. It's a me, Mario. You know what I'm saying? Well, there you go.
Maybe.
Mind is blown. Yeah. He says it in the
alright.
movie, guys. Come on. Okay. I'm
Does
not going to
he?
go back and watch that movie. Though.
Oh, that
It's
movie.
not going to
Yeah,
happen, bro.
I'm not gonna go there either. I don't want the special package I'd have to buy just to be able to watch that either. So
Yeah, it's Mario. It's Mario.
the last name is Mario.
According to ChatGPT. Okay. It was
Wow.
confirmed by Nintendo in the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, wow.
Mario, and Mario,
And by
Luigi
the
Mario.
creator of Mario.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you can't deny that.
There we go, everybody.
Mm.
Now we've learned something. Yes.
Have we?
Oh.
No? I mean, I guess we
What?
have. That's a fun
Listen.
fact for the next time you're playing some trivia game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Captain Lou Albano as Mario on the cartoon. Oh, I remember those days.
Man, I loved playing Mario. I liked Mario 3. That was my game on the SNES there. God damn. You hold down on those white blocks on level 3. You know what I'm saying, everybody? You go skip and get the flute so you can travel the worlds. You know what I'm saying? There's one in the castle where you can jump over the thing instead. You know what I'm saying, everybody? You know where all these
Mario Kart's also a real favorite.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Mario Kart.
Classic. Gosh.
Yeah. A lot of good Mario games.
Good times, man.
I love
Good
the old
times.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Very good. Very good.
So,
I'm drinking
are
the
we
Dr.
ready?
Pepper.
Did you get a drink there, John?
Yeah, I got it right here. We're
Sweet.
good.
And Margaret, you got a drink as well?
I did. Yes.
Beautiful. Well, I think we're ready for the grow guides then. Are we ready to move on or talk about Mario some more?
Do it.
I think we've exhausted that subject, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
Do
go
it.
to the grow cards. We've got some good topics to cover this week. Let's do this.
Okay. Let's do it.
Dave Smee buzzard in the chat there said Alex Kid. You know what I'm saying? So many people pronounce it wrong as Alex the Kid, and it's not Alex the Kid, it's Alex Kid. That's his name. Just saying. But now, I'm trying to concentrate, Smee. What are you doing? Gosh, trying to concentrate here. Okay. So we got some really interesting questions. This is going to be a good episode of the Grow Guides here. We've got a lot of interesting things to cover. And we've got some good questions in the listener mail section as well. So yeah, stay tuned for all of this.
Ooh-wee.
We might as well just get stuck straight in, I think. And
Do it.
what's the best way to water cannabis was the first one we're going to be covering here. And this is one of those, when people start growing cannabis, especially in soil, getting the watering technique correct at the start, it seems to be quite difficult. You would think that it's easy, you know, so you just watering the plants. But if you get that shit wrong, you can suffer major consequences, man, and the plant will be sick. So we wanted to cover just briefly here how you should be watering your cannabis plants at the start, you know, depending on the medium that you have. Now, I think I've told this story before. But just in case you haven't heard it, I'll tell you again. but briefly. So I started off growing cannabis in DWC, deep water culture, for hydro, right? And I was getting good grows, doing well. It went very well indeed. But when I was in the kitchen, I would hear constant like that because of the air pumps in the buckets. You know, and it was just constant vibration all the time. And people were coming around the house, and you know, it's like the tale of the hideous heart. You know, where the heart's beating under the floorboards, and the madman can hear it. Nobody else can hear it, but the madman's like, the heart's beating under the floorboards. Edgar Allan Poe, if you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I was like, I got to do something about this vibrating. I can't have air stones. I'm gonna go to soil. So I went to soil. But my plants were and just because you didn't see there, because this is an audio podcast, I went to soil and I used the finger quotation marks. I went to soil. All right. I went to what I thought was soil. So, and after a week or so, the plants were just looking ill. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So eventually I figured out that I wasn't growing in soil. I was growing in cocoa. And I was watering completely wrong.
Giving it nothing.
That's right. just trying to survive on air, you know. So the plants weren't very happy because I just bought this fucking bag of stuff and I just assumed it was soil, and it wasn't soil, it was cocoa. And the main problem was I wasn't watering it properly. So depending on what medium you're in will depend on which way you have to water the plants for the best results, you know. And if you're in cocoa, then you have to water your plant pretty much every day, twice a day if you can, until you get 10% runoff. That's the water coming out the bottom of the pot. So if you water in a litre into the pot, you want to get 100 millilitres out the bottom, because that washes out all the old salts. And you want to do that pretty much every day to make sure the cocoa doesn't dry out. Don't treat it like soil, because when you're growing in soil, then you'll water the plants and it might not need any nutrients. You're just going to give it water. And then after a couple of days, you're letting the soil dry out a bit. And it'll go from a wet cycle to a dry cycle, and then you'll water it again. So it's different in soil than you would have in cocoa, because you're keeping the cocoa wet all the time. But the soil, you want to water it, then let it dry before you water it again. And obviously in hydroponics, it's water all the
Always
time,
water.
because it's just always water. You just got to make sure that the oxygen's always running. So, you know, your reservoir got an air stone in it, or each of the pots you're growing in has an air stone in it. The roots need to get plenty of oxygen. It's usually done through an air stone. So the main trouble you get with cocoa and hydro, because cocoa is considered a hydro, just keep watering that shit all the time. But when it comes to watering issues, that's mostly seen in soils, right?
Yeah.
So you have to figure out that wet to dry cycle and not to over water the plants, especially in soil. You can wash out the phosphorus really easily. If you water it too much and there's too much runoff coming out all the time, you can wash out nutrients the plant's going to need. So you don't want to water it too much, but if you don't water it enough, the plant's going to suffer as well. So it's that fine balance you have to find. And you grow indoors, John. You grow in soil and cocoa, right?
Well, peat,
Peat, right?
peat.
So it's a little different, yeah.
And so it's peat and hydro. So It's like a combo
Hmm.
for me.
Hmm.
So, but I kind of run my peat just like cocoa, maybe a little bit less watering.
Right.
But then once I transfer into my reservoirs, then I don't water the pot anymore. It just gets brought up through the bottom and the roots being in the reservoir.
Right. So not top
Right.
watering, but that is a soil. You
Right.
grow in soil, right, Margaret? Especially outdoors, you are right now.
Yeah.
When you grow
Hmm.
indoors, you build your own soil and use your own. What's your watering technique for your own soil? Like
I just water it.
Margaret.
I
so
mean, right now
easy.
I've been watering it like outside probably a couple times a day, and I still don't know if that's enough sometimes. Because I mean,
Oh
they don't
right.
look droopy
Hmm.
or anything, but it's been so hot. It's been so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hot.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised at how much water they can pull from the ground, even though it's hot and dries shit out.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, because they actually don't look. I mean, there's been a couple times I'm like, ooh, they're looking like a little droopy or whatever if I've been away for a
Hmm.
bit, but
Yeah.
it hasn't happened that much despite the really intense heat. But
Right.
I'm watering them like every day.
Hmm.
Well, if it needs it, then it needs it. But it's good to have that
Yeah.
wet and dry cycle in soils because the roots need oxygen as well, and they can't get the oxygen so well when it's waterlogged. So you give it the water it
Yeah.
needs, let that disappear a bit so we can get some oxygen, then water again. That's the best technique. But when it's growing
Hmm.
outdoors, there's there's a lot of space for that water to go to. It's not just going to sit in a pot like it does when you're growing
Right.
indoors. So that makes a difference as well. But the best way to water as well, when you find the right timing in between watering these, especially in soil, it's like a day, 2 days, 3 days. It depending on the size of the plant. 3 days seems to be good for small plants. But if they start to droop, water them essentially. And if
Hmm.
they're not drooping, they're
Hmm.
not going to need water. You can also check the weight of the pot versus when it's wet, it's going to be heavy. You're not going to be able to pick it up too easily. Versus when it's light, ridiculously light. Like you wouldn't even think there
Yeah.
was anything in it. It's shocking how light that the pot and the plant get when there's no water in it. It's ridiculous. So if you go to lift up the pot and you nearly fall over because you was expecting it to be much heavier, you got to water that. But what
Yeah.
happens is the top of the soil as well will dry out and it becomes hydrophobic. And this happens with cocoa if you let that dry out a little bit too much as well. When you water this
Hmm.
shit, it'll sit on the top and then just run down the sides into the fucking
Yeah.
pot. Piss take, you know,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're in
I hate it
fabric
when that
pots.
happens.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it frustrates you. Like drink the fucking, you know, stop being a dick. And you just point it on the top, spilling down the side, straight into the runoff tray. Like what the fuck? So
Yeah.
sometimes you have to just a little bit of water dampen the top of the soil, and then it will soak that in. And then when it's a little bit wet, it's gonna be able to absorb that water much easily,
Hmm.
much easier. So don't just try chucking all the water in and expecting it to absorb it if it's gone dry. Wet it a little bit first, wait 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then go water it again. And it will be a lot easier to get the water into the pot at that point.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Still gotta water it slow, even after you get that just little bit of top
That's right,
wet.
because you want
You
it
know
to
what I
go
mean?
through the soil rather than run down the sides. And
Yeah.
that's even going to happen
Yeah.
in your plastic pots as well, everybody. It'll run from the top, down the sides, out the bottom. So it's not
Hmm.
really being absorbed by the soil like you need it to. So when you're
Yep.
watering in soil as well, if it's getting dried out a little bit, take your time watering it. Don't do it too quickly.
Yep.
Take your time with that shit to make sure that the soil is actually absorbing it rather than it just running down the sides. 'Cause it's just a waste otherwise. And it's so fucking
Yeah.
frustrating. Gosh.
You're like, son of
Hmm.
why?
But I think that it's one of the most difficult things for people who start growing in soil. As I said, in hydro, in cocoa, in peat, in rock wool, in those kind of mediums there, you can water that shit every 15 minutes. As long as the water's running out of it and you're getting rid of the runoff, you're going to be fine. And
Yeah.
when you're in full hydro systems, as long as the air stones are running and you're getting some oxygen to the roots, that's going to be fine as well. The difficulty with watering comes when it's soil. That's where the problems come because you got to let that wet and dry cycle happen. Water the plants, give it 3 days or so to dry out. It might be sooner than that. Check the weight of the pot and all that kind of shit before you water again. Just don't overwater. It's very easy to do in soil. Be careful of that shit because the plant will not be happy.
No.
Hmm.
Here we got Operation Annihilation in the chat. Says spray the tops of your soil and it will help disperse when you do water. It's a good technique as well. You know, you get a mister spray, you know, those things.
Yeah.
That's got some
I do
water.
that
You can
every
spray the
once in a
top
while,
of your
too.
soil. That'll loosen it up a little bit and allow it to be watered easier as well.
Mhm.
So, and when I
Yep.
say as well the wet and dry cycle, if you're in living soil and you got loads of bacteria and different shit living in that soil, don't let it get too dry. If you let it dry too much, all that bacteria and stuff is going to dry out. You know, so you don't want it really fucking light where you're falling over when you lift up the pot. You don't want it getting that far. So bear that in mind as well. It's a thing that you will develop over time and a little bit of practice. And you'd be surprised how difficult it is just to get that watering technique down correctly. You know, it's easy to get it wrong. And you would think it's so simple. Oh, you just water the plants. No, but it really has to be done at the right time, with the right amount of water, at the correct pH, you know, and the correct temperature. So just take your time with that shit, man. Don't try and think it's very easy, that it's just watering, because it's not.
Right.
There's little nuances that you really need to get used to. So, you know, normal room temperature water will be fine. If it's too cold, it might shock the roots. But if it's just coming out of the tap, usually you'll be fine. But room temperature is good, you know. And as we said there, if you're in soil and you haven't watered for a few days and it has gone dry, just moisten the top for a little bit, let it wait, let that settle, and then water the plants as much as you need to. Yeah, and that's it. That's the best way to water your cannabis plants. And just again, if you're in living soil, try not to get too much runoff. You know, because if you're getting runoff, you're letting good shit escape out your soil. You don't want that. You want all the stuff to stay in the soil. It's not necessary with soil, if you're growing organically, to get a lot of runoff. With cocoa, because you're using salt-based nutrients, you want to get at least 10% runoff after every time you water it. All right. So again, if you put in a liter, you want to get 100 milliliters. You put in 5 liters, you want to get half a liter back out as runoff, and that'll help get rid of the old salts. But that's pretty much it, man. Takes a little bit of practice, but it is an important thing that you need to get down to make sure that your plants are going to be happy and healthy. Right? I think that covers watering. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
No.
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 Just add an air stone if you wanted to. Even if it's just if you're in soil and you have your nutrient solution just sitting there waiting for it to be watered, the plants, add an air stone to there for a few hours and get some more oxygen put in there. You know, like when you go to the aquarium, you buy a thing for the fish tank that puts oxygen in the water, just a stone that bubbles, just one of those. That'll be fine. Yeah. Anyway.
That works.
So let's talk about some deficiencies. How do you spot and fix deficiencies? This is on you, John. Are you ready for the challenge?
Listen, no, but we're going to talk about them anyway, because it's going to happen to you at least once, for sure.
Yeah.
And you might not know what it is. And even after we tell you, it might not be that.
That's right.
Could
So
also
take
be
notes.
something else.
Take notes here if you need to, everybody.
Right?
This little section, you know?
So deficiencies usually show in the leaves. I mean, that's where you're going to notice it right away. And if it's beyond that, you've waited too long to be taking care of your plant. So you can fix it still, but let's talk about the different kinds. Nitrogen deficiency. Older leaves are going to turn pale yellow. Not like, don't confuse that with like the end of flower turning pale, like when you're flushing or anything.
Yeah,
it's not
the
the same.
iridescence.
But during regular growth, you know,
senescence.
the older
I
leaves are
always
gonna-
say fucking iridescence instead of senescence.
I don't even use that word.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, so nitrogen, that's what's going to happen with that. Magnesium, you're going to get the yellowing between the veins. Mostly the lower leaves. I have seen it up higher, but usually it's the mid to lower leaves, right?
Yeah, it's because you got the mobile and immobile nutrients, isn't it? And like nitrogen is a mobile nutrient, so when the plant growth at the top needs some nitrogen, it's happy to get it from the bottom of the plant and move it from there up to the top where it's needed. And that's why then bottom leaves will get yellow with the nitrogen deficiency. And you know, with the magnesium, it's I'm pretty sure magnesium is a mobile nutrient as well, and that combines with the calcium and moves around the plant with the calcium. That's why you need the CalMag together. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why it comes to lower leaves as well, is because it's going to move from the lower leaves where it's not needed so much to the parts of the plant where it is needed. You know?
Right. And since you brought up calcium, so you're gonna be seeing rusty spots, like those little brown spots on the leaves and such. Weak growth. Another one is I don't know how to explain it, but like flimsy growth. Not
Mhm.
necessarily like the stretchy, lanky, but like that
Just weak.
bendy,
Yeah,
just weak. Yeah,
bendy,
yeah,
rubbery. I know what you
yeah,
mean.
rubbery. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. So watch for
that
that.
calcium's
Most of
important,
the time,
man.
that's going to be calcium.
Yeah, it
Yep.
is. I've underestimated how much calcium a plant needs. Sometimes they end up with hollow stems and shit. And
Yeah.
it just
I've
yeah.
I've I've had hollow stems regardless, I guess.
Yeah, but I've
So like
noticed that when I would use more calcium, then I'd have less chance of having hollow stems.
right, right.
Hmm.
I have heard that for sure. For sure. And I noticed that I had to start bumping up my calcium again lately. Something must have changed in because I use dry nutrients.
Right.
They must have changed something. And like I was getting a lot of that bendiness in my stems, and it was just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, man, what is
No,
going
this is
on
why
here,
we have that, like, it's like a cannabis meme nowadays, where if there's anything wrong with your plants at all, people will be like,
Yeah.
CalMag, CalMag.
Yep.
And that's why, it's like there's half truth to it, where the majority of the
Right.
time, if there's something wrong with your plants, especially cannabis, it's most likely CalMag. It's most likely
Right.
calcium, but the calcium needs the magnesium as well. Because most nutrients
Hmm.
have plenty of NPK in it for the stage of growth it's at. It's the calcium where the issue is. And this is why
Yeah.
you need to give so much of that
and
shit.
and
Don't underestimate
it
how
needs
important.
those to be able to move all that stuff around too. So
Hmm.
like, you know,
And
yeah.
to create energy
It's
and
not,
to create chlorophyll in it, because that's the big part
yeah.
of that is a magnesium molecule.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, sorry, John.
Yep. So moving on. So many deficiencies are pH lock or like a pH issue or like a lockout issue. Um, Especially in like cocoa, this can happen
Hmm.
real easy. If you're not letting that runoff happen, man, whew, it ain't gonna take long, and that plant's gonna start showing problems. You know.
Yeah,
So I always, whenever I see a problem myself in something in the leaf, I always check the pH first.
yeah.
Then I check my runoff if I'm doing it that way, or I check my reservoir
Hmm.
first to see what's going on, and then
Because that's the problem most of the time,
go
isn't
from
it? Is
there. Yep.
if the pH is off, it doesn't matter what food is in the medium; it's not going to eat it. So pH
Right.
is the first thing you check, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. 100%. 100%. Um, Check your environment, your nutrients, check your pH before adding more nutrients. Also check runoff. If you're getting runoff, check your runoff. Um, if it's true deficiency, you're going to supplement it. If it's a lockout, you need to clean that out. You need to flush it, and reset it with. I I always reset with the correct pH, and then whatever nutrient schedule I'm on, I try to get it back to that
Yeah,
for me. I used
same.
to flush like so in the beginning when I was using cocoa, I used to just flush straight out with just like maybe CalMag and pH water and nothing else
Hmm.
until I got it way down. Well, then it would do the opposite, right? Like it would make it worse then because I took everything out of the
Yeah,
cocoa,
yeah. And this is the
you
thing. I
know.
hate to
So,
get too fucking sciencey, but it's that whole entropy shit, isn't it?
hmm
If the medium of the plant, just say the cocoa or the hydroponic medium you're using has got an EC or PA or ppm, let's say the
hmm
EC is 1.5, and then you flush that medium into something like 0.5, which is
yeah,
massively lower on EC. Well, the water inside the plant, the moisture inside the plant is also going to have the EC of 1.5, the same as the medium. They're both going to be balanced. But when you flush that
right.
shit out and the medium is now 0.5, there's still 1.5 EC in the moisture inside the plant. So the plant is it's going to try and get entropy, try and balance things out to make sure that the medium is the same EC as the plant is. So you get shit drawn out of the plant then that it
hmm
completely fucking throws things off. The plant hasn't got a clue what's going on. It's having nutrients sucked out of itself, and it starts to look like
Yep.
shit. So people, they get it all twisted up, thinking about, especially in cocoa, flushing it is going to fix it. It's like, yeah, flush it, but then put the medium back as it was. Don't leave it
Right.
sitting there at 0.5
Or
EC.
where it's supposed to be, not back to
Yeah,
where it
yeah.
was, but where
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
supposed to be. you know.
We have we go into detail on that kind of shit in the EC and pH episode as well, about how to monitor the EC and pH to know if the plant's being overfed or underfed, and if you need to reduce the next feed or increase it. It goes into a lot of detail. You know, it's a complex topic, but keep that pH balanced. Don't feed too much, and you should be fucking fine from there. You know? Sorry, yeah.
Keep a diary.
Indeed.
That's our top tip.
Indeed.
Keep a diary. Mark all that down. What
That's
you
right.
did, when you did it, how much you did, like.
And other people can see. They'll be like, EC of 2.8. What the fuck? Is he using advanced nutrients? Oh yes, he is. Okay, that's fine. You know.
So also on the whole pH thing, PPMEC, you should be checking your equipment.
Yeah.
Occasionally, because like one time I could not figure out for the life of me what was going on with my plant. And I'm like, well, everything seems right. Like my meters are all reading right. pH, I got that figured out, and I'm like, well, EC or well, me, I use PPMs was fine. Come to find out, I grabbed a new one, checked it. I was at like 3,000 ppms, bro. My plant, that thing was burning on fire. Holy, I felt so terrible.
Damn.
So terrible. So check your equipment for sure.
The plant's there crying, you know.
Yeah.
Please, no more food, please. Like that fat kid out of what's that? Matilda. You know, where the fat kid has to eat all the chocolate cake because the headmistress forces him to. Like, eat the cake, eat it. It's like that. The kid's there crying. No more, please. Shut up and eat the fucking cake. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Shit movie, by the way. Shit movie.
I don't remember the movie at all.
No, it was all right, I suppose. Yeah, Danny DeVito in it. Yeah.
No, the book was great.
Yeah. Anyway, random tangent. Sorry, John. Was you done there?
I believe we're done with that topic, unless there's anything else we can come up with there. I mean, we were basically talking about deficiencies there, not the other, you know.
But and the most of the time, the deficiencies are caused. I would say, 60-70% of the time, when there's a deficiency, it's probably down to the pH being the incorrect level. pH is so important, man. Make sure that's correct. And then after that, if your pH is good, then it's probably calcium, magnesium, or PK. If you're heavy into flour, you're going to be getting them PK deficiencies. Yeah. If you're not supplementing PK, then you're probably getting those deficiencies in flour, but you wouldn't see those in veg. No. But yeah, again, we have an episode that covers all of these nutrient deficiencies and how to fix them specifically. So go and check out the previous episodes of Grow Guides. It's around episode 10, somewhere there. It's in the early episodes, you know, maybe episode 7. I'm not too sure. But we do cover in great detail deficiencies and excess as well. So check that episode out. Well, what we have next here, we have should you prune fan leaves? This is a controversial one. It's a controversial one. That's right. What are you saying, Margaret? Tell us about pruning fan leaves.
Well, as you mentioned, it's a pretty big debate in growing circles because your fan leaves act as little solar panels for energy storage. And removing them can improve airflow and light penetration. But removing too many can stress the plant. So you have to get it just right. And if you don't, you'll kill it. No, I'm kidding. But
it will die.
It will die. No, actually, they're pretty resilient. I've probably pruned too many off many times myself. But if they're vegetating, some light defoliation is fine. Although I do remember we talked not that long ago about how if you're getting like yellowing leaves on your cannabis plant, to leave them.
Leave them alone.
Because the temptation is to pluck them off because they look like shit. But they're still drawing nutrients from that dying leaf. So there's that. But because I have also been very guilty of doing that before.
Oh, yeah. We all have. It's like, man, I've taken off so much.
I still do it.
Yeah. Back in the early days, got salt build up. My leaves are crispy. Brown and yellow. It's just so bad. And you're like, I better take them off before I take a picture and show everybody and be like, look how much of a good grower I am. But, but you know, it's definitely not the case. Fuck.
Yeah.
Don't do it, everybody. Sorry, Margaret.
No, that's okay. So if they're in vegetation, a little light defoliation is fine. And if they're in flower, around week 3, it can help with some airflow but you don't really want to overdo that later.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I guess
Mhm.
at the end of the day, balance is key. It all depends,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
as it does with so many things, but because you want to balance the airflow versus the plant energy. So
Mhm.
just, take a few, see what happens. You can always pluck more later if you need to.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is something which I think we covered this in more detail as well, like avoiding the stretch and things like that, the proper
Yeah.
times to defoliate the plants. And unless you're doing a technique like mainlining or slash manifolding, it depends on what you call that kind of technique. There's really no
Yep.
reason to remove any of the leaves from your plant. There's no reason to do it until you get to
Ah.
the flowering stage where you hit the lollipopping stage. You're taking off the bottom section of the plant where shit buds are gonna grow. So you get rid of all those so you can focus all the energy on the top buds. But for me, I don't defoliate anything. I leave it all on. If a leaf is getting in the way or something, then I can tuck it out the way. I don't need to remove it. There's plenty of nutrients stored up in that leaf that the plant can use if it needs. So I don't do any defoliation whatsoever until that stage where the stretch has finished and flowering has started. What are you saying, John? You sounded like you disagreed
I
there. What's your
well,
method?
a little bit. Like I feel because I've grown outdoors and indoors both.
Yeah,
Okay.
outdoors is
I
different
feel
though.
that
Outdoors, let that shit
no,
go. You
no,
do your thing.
right,
But
right.
indoors is different.
Well, the plant grows so much differently outdoors, but
Hmm.
indoors, especially if you have a small tent, and if you have for say a really bushy, say indica plant or something, I will default during veg even because the airflow just is not there. I want
Mm,
air moving around. And some
Mm.
of those plants, man, I could probably go take a picture of one upstairs right now that I should cut cut
Yeah,
away
yeah.
some leaves just so it gets more airflow through it,
Yeah, I
you
used to
know.
do that, but I came to the realization that sometimes I was removing shit that did turn into good plant matter. Like these lower leaves, these lower stems and shit that
Yeah.
eventually would have grown into a main stem if I just give it the time to. So
Hmm.
nowadays, I let the plant just do its thing until it's at the stage where flowers are forming. Then you can see which part of the plants have grown good shit, bad shit, and remove the stuff that I don't think is beneficial and leave the good
Right.
stuff. That's what I usually do.
Right.
But
And I don't like I'm not cutting any stems or branches or anything off
you
when I
just
do
go in
that
leaf.
in veg.
Okay.
Just leaf. Just
Hmm.
leaf to open it up some,
Hmm.
to get it to breathe. Because I usually have quite a full tent.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I gotta get that air moving around in there, you
Yeah,
know.
it's important, man. Airflow is an
Yeah.
important factor.
Hmm.
The last thing you want is mold.
Yeah.
You got this big bushy ass plant with mold all over the fucking thing.
Hmm.
Don't want that.
Yeah. And it helps with bugs. Like
Hmm.
more airflow keeps bugs away too, you know.
What about you, Mark? What's the pruning like for you on your outdoor plants right now?
I'm pretty much, they're just starting to flower right now, so
Nice.
they're not, I wouldn't say they're too overly bushy anyway, so I'm not really plucking any leaves off them right now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nice. I just enjoy that stage. I look forward to the time when it gets to the point where the flowering's starting, the pom poms are coming out, and then I'll get my Stanley blade out. And I'll get some tape in case I need it, and I'll sit there
Turn into a
for
Dexter.
3-4 hours going through each branch. And there's
Yeah.
2 or 3 nodes down. It depending on how close they are. If I don't think that's going to turn into a beneficial bud, I'll get rid of everything down that stem. You know what I mean, mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
And it's especially in a scrog. You're doing a scrog and you've got above the screen and below the screen, and you just
Yeah.
go there pruning everything underneath the fucking screen, all the bud sites, all the plants, or all the leaves, and just stripping
Yeah.
stems all the way down. It's a beautiful stage, man. I just love the tidiness of that. How
Hmm.
tidy it looks after, how clean it looks under the screen afterwards, and then above it, you've got all these buds developing and shit. Beautiful,
Well, and
beautiful.
it's not using any extra energy to any of that at that point, you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
So that's a good reason to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I miss having a good scrog. I will do another scrog soon enough. It's just my
Hmm.
favourite method. I just wish it was legal here
Yeah.
in the UK so I didn't have to fucking worry about it. I could just enjoy this hobby
Yeah.
and not have to fucking worry
Right.
about it. It's bullshit, man. Because the problem, if you put in a scrog, then if you got the gas man coming around like, oh, gotta check your radiators, and you can't move your
Hmm.
plants. They're stuck in a fucking scrog.
Yeah.
But if it was legal, I'd be like, yo, check my radiators, bro, and then look at this fucking scrog. Look how epic this is. Look what I've done. Look.
When
One
the
day.
guy came
One
and put
day.
my RO in, he's like, "What are you using this for?" Because I'm like, I don't want the water tap. Can you put a hose underneath with a shut off? He's like, "What are you using it for?" I said, "Let me show you."
You know what I mean? It opened the tent up. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He's
glowing.
like, oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Pruning is important, I think, when growing indoors. Outdoors,
Yeah.
let that thing grow, man. Nature
No.
knows what the fuck it's doing. Leave it alone.
In a greenhouse, you kind of got to do some pruning.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have topped 2 of our plants like 3 times already. Like had to just cut them off.
Yeah.
Because they're up into the top of the greenhouse and folded over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all that says is mold.
Yeah.
That's all that means.
So it's going to be dead anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so get it off early. But yeah.
Yeah.
Pruning, man, is an important one. It's one of those, again, which you'll get used to after a few grows.
Right.
You start getting used to what you can and can't do with the plants. And let me just tell you, I've removed, whilst I've been pruning plants or defoliation, I've removed a ridiculous amount of plant matter before, 2/3 easily. And the plant does not give a shit. So don't sit there thinking, oh, I've taken 5 leaves off. My plant's going to die now. That's not going to happen, man. I swear.
No, it takes a lot. It does take a lot to kill
it
them.
really does take so much to kill these plants. It's absolutely ridiculous. I've been there like, maybe that was a bit too much. And they're like, no, that was fine. Thanks for the fucking haircut, So don't be shy, man. Don't be shy. Get on that pruning shit. If you don't think it's going to turn into a nice bud, get rid of that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so preparing for harvest. This is another one we wanted to cover here, right? So, you're at the end of the grow and you're like, oh, I've got a day off on Tuesday. This is going to be a perfect time for me to harvest. If you check that shit, you make sure the trichomes are in the right condition. Yeah, the plant is definitely ready for harvest. If you want to figure out more about that, then we do have an episode on harvesting where we go into great detail about how to tell when it's ready for harvest, what to do, how to prepare for that shit, drying, trimming. We cover all of that in one of the previous episodes, but just want to quickly cover briefly here how to prepare for harvest. Like, your plants are ready and you're going to go harvest that shit. How do you make sure that you're fully prepared? Because for those who do not know, for you new growers out there, when you come to harvest time, it seems so much fun, but you're going to be trimming weed for the next 10, 15, 20 hours?
Years.
God.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe years. No, true
feel like
story,
years.
Margaret. True story, man. Because I've got PTSD from when I grew some big butter blue cheese and I fed a little bit too much nitrogen during the flower. These were so fucking bushy, so leafy. And I was there just 4 plants. And I was on my own because, you can't call a team in. It's just me on my own. These
20
DWC
hours.
big butter blue cheese. 16 motherfucking hours, man. 16 hours trimming these fucking things. And I wasn't prepared. This was like one of the early grows when I'm just starting out this shit. 16 hours. And up until then, I'd had a few crops before then. I was like, oh, this is so much fun. I love harvesting. I love trimming. Don't love it. Haven't loved it since. Fuck that shit. So,
it does depend on the plant too, right? Like the
oh yeah,
for
sure,
man.
for sure. God damn.
Ugh.
Oh. So you want to be properly prepared for this shit. And I would say when it's harvest time, the first thing you need to do to be properly prepared is make sure you've got something to listen to, man. You go for the interviews, the high and homegrown interviews, where you can just sit there and listen to me and somebody else shout some shit about something for an hour or so. And we got hundreds of interviews. There's loads of shit. Put that shit in a playlist and just go listen to that. I mean, if you're a patron, you can go to there's just a playlist of all of the interviews just on the Patreon page. Just go to the YouTube playlist and press go, and there's fucking hundreds of them. Prepare yourself like that. Make sure the number one priority here is to make sure that you're going to be entertained while you're harvesting, because it's fucking savage. What do you do, Margaret? When you come to harvest the cannabis plant, what's your method to make sure that you're fully prepared and ready for this harvest session that you're about to do?
Oh, I get out drinks and snacks. Definitely line up
Mm-hmm.
a podcast or two, or I watch a
Mhm.
movie, probably a movie or a show
Mm-hmm.
I've seen before because
A second
I'm
screen
half
White
paying
movie.
noise.
Yeah,
attention. Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, if you don't want something where you have to pay attention to the plot because you will miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you can
Oh,
recruit help, if you're fortunate enough that you can recruit help from someone, it's nice to like, it is not a bad activity to do with someone,
that's right.
and you can give
Right.
them some weed for helping.
That's
That's
right.
I
a
mean,
pretty
That
expensive.
branch is for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
But you might also have to prepare for losing a friend after that.
Yeah, that's right.
For sitting
They
for
fully
10,
took
12 hours.
advantage of me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this is worth it,
You know,
bro.
Show me on the doll where the scissors touched you.
That's true. You might lose a friend, but hey, you got your weed trimmed anyway.
That's
So,
right. It's
Mhm.
worth it for getting that weed trimmed. Fuck.
yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you have lots of scissors, lots of cleaning
Mhm,
supplies.
mhm.
Keep them
Yeah.
scissors cleaned up.
It is good to have like everything kind of ready to go, so you're not
Yeah.
like having to get it in the middle of it.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is as well, it smells so much. And again, for those people who haven't done this yet, you're going to stink so strong. You can't just be like, oh, I feel like a bag of Maltesers. I'm going to pop to Tesco. No,
Yeah.
it's
You're
not an
right.
option.
Well, you could, but you are
Well,
going
yeah.
to reek of weed.
Yeah.
even
Well,
if you're
that's
going
it.
People
to
are going to
a
be like,
local-
whoa.
If
Yeah.
you're legal, if you're a legal grower, fuck that. You gotta do what you want. You gotta get your Maltesers, bro. You gonna
Yeah.
be fine. But if you're not, yeah, you stay in the house. Stay in the house,
Yeah.
all right? Don't go out.
Yeah, even if you're in a legal place, though, you're going to go out and you're going to get side eye for sure.
Oh yeah, fuck
Mhm.
side eye though. It's not illegal. Fuck them.
That's
Fuck
very
them.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Side eye all
But
you
you
like.
should
You
still
smell
have your
that?
snacks.
Mm,
You should still
yeah,
have your
Yeah.
snacks and stuff
I
ready.
feel like you should have your snacks and your hydration
your drink,
ready to
yeah.
go.
absolutely, absolutely. You know, get all your snacks ready. Get your podcast lined up. Make sure you got numerous pairs of scissors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's gonna make a
Mhm.
difference as well. Make sure that wherever you're gonna hang these buds, it is ready for you to go hang them. You know, that's an important factor as
Yeah,
well.
because like, where are you gonna put it all once you're done
Mhm.
trimming it? And like, yeah, there's lots of things to consider.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you know, make sure you got enough lighting as well. It's an important factor
Yep.
because you're gonna be straining your eyes a lot while you're trimming this shit. So make sure you got some
Yeah.
good lighting.
So good lighting and also something to look up at a distance. I keep hearing that because we look at screens so much now that our eyesight's not getting is like becoming
Well,
worse.
Here's a random
is
fact of
shit.
the week, everybody. You have to do the 20-20-20 rule, which
What's
is every
that?
20 minutes, look at something 20 meters away for 20
Yes.
seconds.
That totally makes
that
sense. I
will
try and
help
do
your
that
eyesight.
actually.
Yeah,
Well, maybe not every 20
Okay.
minutes, but like when I think about it.
yeah, yeah. Which
Oh,
every
look up
about 3 or 4 days. I know what you're saying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, just to give your eyeballs a break because you're staring
Yeah.
at this stuff for so long. And we all
Yeah,
know if you don't take care of your eyeballs and you die, something's gonna eat them. So.
Mhm.
that's right. Or you know, my friend at the fucking Caribbean restaurant yesterday gonna eat them eyeballs. Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah.
Headlamp is a must.
Yeah.
He says.
That's it. And after a couple of turns, you're gonna know what's gonna be comfortable for you. So you know, again, just
Yeah.
practice makes perfect, man. Get a couple of these harvests down. This is just gonna make it easier when you do your first harvest. Make sure everything is ready beforehand, and then all you've got to do is trim, hang, trim, hang, trim, hang. 10 hours, 15 hours, maybe. Just make sure everything's ready. Your sandwiches are all made. You know, you maybe your missus or you know your husband, whatever, can make you a cup of tea or coffee throughout the day because you really just want to get stuck in and get this shit done. You don't want to be wandering around
Yeah.
the place, dropping leaf everywhere and stinking up the whole fucking
Put your
place.
head down.
So that's right. Get stuck in and get it done. And it's enjoyable. You know, it's like there's loads of good audiobooks out there. The Prince by Machiavelli. Put that shit on. Listen to that. You got Art of War by Chung Tzu. You can listen to that. That's only a few hours long. You got the Odyssey, one of the oldest stories in history. 10 hours for the audiobook. Why not fire that shit up? Or
Boom.
podcasts. You know, there's so many different. You pick what's good for you. Get yourself ready. And make an enjoyable experience out of it. Because it can easily be shit. Trust me. It can easily be
very
shit.
easily.
Just try and
I actually
make
have
it.
tonight. I got to finish half a plant that's sitting here in my tote, waiting for me, just calling
Boo.
my name, and I'm like,
Boo.
"You son of a
You
bitch!"
just procrastinating as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So be prepared.
Oh,
Some 7Ps, which everybody should remember for all occasions, not just cannabis, but prior preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance. So make sure
too
that
many
you
fucking
are
peas.
ready. That is 7 of them, I think. Prior planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance. It's 7Ps. You know what I'm saying? 7Ps there, everybody.
All
Remember
right,
them.
good job.
And it'll be a lot easier if you're properly prepared for this shit. Yes. Anything to add here on harvesting? Just make sure you're
No.
prepared. Got plenty
No,
of
I like the
scissors.
preparation thing. I will add that when you're queuing up all your podcast episodes, that there are plenty of fabulous episodes on Bite Me the Show about edibles as well.
Absolutely.
There is.
Inspiration for edibles, but also
Mhm.
on other subjects with a wide range of fascinating people.
That's right.
Mhm.
And it's
Mhm.
definitely far more chill because you don't get the occasional Macky rants or random tangents. Things not appropriate. You
Does
know?
Right.
does it occasionally flow over, Margaret, into Bite Me? You're like, God damn, that pissed me off on the show on Sunday. And then it kind of comes up and all of a sudden you roll right into a rant on yours. You're like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Oh, like in an interview? No, not really. I'm extremely professional.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she's sitting there trying to record the next episode and be like, I was on a High and Homegrown this week and Macky was talking about fucking fish eyes. This
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's going to be the next recipe.
Yep.
Yeah, could you
Infused fish
imagine?
eyes.
There might be
Jesus.
something out there for it. That would be
Oh. Nice touch there from Sir Hunterlot. Good plan there. Keep your scissors clean and soaking in alcohol. If you can get some isopropyl alcohol, that because your fingers are going to get sticky when you're harvesting. Fingers gonna your scissors are gonna
Gloves.
get full up of shit. Yeah,
Get some
gloves,
gloves,
all this
bro.
stuff. If you get some isopropyl alcohol, gets that stickiness off you pretty easily and gets it off
Yeah.
these scissors and stuff as well. So yeah, good recommendation there. Yeah, man.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
But that'll do for the Grow Guys there. We've got some nice questions to cover here for the listener mail. We've got like 5 or 6 or something. I know we got quite a few. Should we move on to some of these? Ready?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do the
excited.
listener mail. Nice. So, Chain Gangster, this guy is from Discord. And he sent in the message last week asking us about how we choose our own strains. And he sent a reply. Macky, love the fact that you addressed my question last episode. That's how we roll, bro. Send them in and we will put them on the show. So, yeah, thanks for sending it in. We appreciate it. He said, thank you. Now, I was wondering if you folks would give your opinion on preferences for landrace strains, i.e. Durban Poison, Afghan, Colombian Gold, Thai, etc. versus heritage strains, i.e. Blue Dream, OG Kush, Super Lemon Haze, Sour Diesel, etc. versus modern strains, i.e. Cookies, Runts, etc. Also, I would love to hear Billy's profane, cuss-filled answer to this question.
You have to save that.
And
for
he's
next
not even
week.
here.
You know what I mean? Boo. Do you think the people who make the devices that irradiate cannabis actually would use it on their own personal supply? No, they wouldn't. But
I don't
for
think
the
they would either.
landrace thing, I would I've never grown a landrace. I prefer growing shit that's a little bit more classic. You know? I mean,
I haven't either,
I have
so I
some,
can't really comment on that too much.
and I
Yeah.
want to.
but they're
really
just not
want
made
to.
for
Your
growing
hesitation?
indoors, you know?
What's
If
your
you just-
hesitation, John?
yeah, what's wrong with you, John?
It's-
Why ain't you doing it?
It's it's the length of the grow, right? Like the ones I
Yeah.
got are like, man, they take forever. And again, like you're saying, indoor growing them is not optimal because they stretch so much, they get so big. Depending on what you get, right? You might end up with a different style of budding because back in the land races, there were different ones. There wasn't just buds. There might have been like pearl style buds. There might
I've
have
had
been,
one of
like-
those before as well, and it was the
Yeah.
tastiest weed I've ever grown. It was ridiculous. That's just
Yeah.
like little cannabis grapes or something. It was crazy, man. That weed
Yeah,
was
so
so
you got
good.
without
Oh, wow.
knowing what it is and what it's gonna do, it's kind of crazy. I did pop what the heck was it? An Afghan.
Right.
I can't remember.
Skunk
what it
number
was, but
one
it
or
was an
something?
Afghan. No, it was just an Afghan. I think it was lamb's bread.
Lamb's bread.
That's what it was,
Yeah.
or something like that. And but fuck, they both died on me.
Mm.
I don't know what I did wrong.
Boo.
Like I popped them, they grew slow as hell, and by the time they got about
Yeah.
4 inches tall. All of a sudden, they just said, "No, not for me."
That's the
And I
thing, isn't
went,
it?
"You
Yeah.
son of a bitch!"
These
Yeah.
Son of a
landrace, I mean, they're good if you, especially if you're doing some breeding, you want to get some of the original genetics and make some new
Yeah.
strains. Fucking cool, man. Roll with that. But for growing for cannabis to consume, landrace is not exactly the way you want to go. I mean, there's some
No,
good shit,
no.
but it's just not bred as, you know, these strains that we know of, say like washing machine or wedding cake, Gorilla Glue #4. These have been through so many generations and bred in a specific way that are easy to grow indoors specifically, because that's what people do. So if you want to grow that shit for the bud quality, the THC quality, the flavor, then you want to go for them more strains that have been bred out a few times, are famous for that shit. Landrace, it's going to be good, but it's not going to be ideal to grow indoors. If you can grow outdoors, fucking plant them landrace, man. Let them do their thing. But you know, if you're growing indoors, then you want to go for something that's tried and tested for growing indoors, and it's been bred in a specific way for that shit as well, I think.
But even for like
Mhm.
outdoors, wouldn't they have a bit too long of a growing season for someone like in a
Yeah,
place
yeah,
like Montana and I are?
it's
I
also a
just
Yeah.
feel
factor
like,
as well.
yeah, I just feel like our season isn't long enough to sort of
Yeah.
grow those
Not
kinds of
here for
strains.
sure.
Yeah,
hmm
well, if it's not there for you, neither for me.
Right. Right.
Frank Canadan says bullcrap land races are the most stable genetics out there. Yeah, I didn't say that they're not stable. They're definitely stable, but
Right.
then it's not that they wouldn't grow ideally for indoors. Like they'll be extra lanky. There'll be
Right.
much more space in between the nodes, so the buds wouldn't grow together so compact. There'll be less mold resistant. There's these different things that have been bred into these specific strains to be grown in specific environments, you know, and indoors specifically. So yeah, that makes a difference. But of course, the genetics on the land race is going to be stable as fuck because they've been going for millions of years. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not for a beginner grower. As Smee said
Hmm.
in the chat there, landrace not for beginners, definitely not. But
Yeah.
if you do want to grow some of that shit, you go to the Real Seed Company. I think that's who, with Angus from the Real Seed Company, who's been on the show a few times. Man, this man knows his shit about cannabis, and he specializes in these land races from India and you know the Himalaya and all these places where the land races have been grown for hundreds of thousands of years. So, but not for beginners. You need to be an experienced grower with enough space before you start heading into that kind of shit. Make sure you got enough surplus as well, you know, because it's going to
Hmm.
take a while to make sure you grow enough from these things. But they're going to be good strains, going to be some original good ass shit. But it's like you got the landrace and you got the old school. This is why I see it. I don't know whether it's correct, but you got the landrace, so it's been grown in all the fields. Then you got the old school shit, like early '90s weed. I mean, like blueberry,
Hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
bubble gum, the white widow, Northern Lights, skunk #1, Afghan. You know, these kind of early strains. If you want to go for the old school shit, go there because that's kind of bred to be grown indoors and it will still be high quality. Then you got the newer shit which has more flavor. I don't know, man. Yeah, you just really have to figure out what's best for you. But that's how I see it anyway. That's the different levels I see.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not
yeah,
against any of them, to be honest with you. I'll
that's
try
right.
any of them
No.
once.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pop
You'd,
them
you'd be
beans, man.
surprised what you find in one of them. You know, I mean, of any of them, right? You might find one for you that you were like, oh, I don't want to try that, but it works.
Yeah, man. So I hope that answers your question there. You know, give your opinion on the preferences for landrace and things like that. I think that Margaret, do you have anything else to add to this one?
No, I don't think so. But
Yeah.
I haven't grown any landrace strains myself, but
No.
when I
Mhm.
see this list of cultivars, I really like the sounds of every single one of those heritage strains.
Absolutely, absolutely. Some good shit, man.
Beautiful.
But let's
Yeah.
let's move on to this next one from Jack E69. He sent this one in. He asks, "Are auto flowers worth it because they are faster, or is the bud from post photo periods just better?" This is one of those up in the air for debate. But in my personal opinion, if you got, especially if you've grown a good auto from like Mephisto or something like that, and you've grown good photo periods, if you went out to just a man on the street interviewing, was like, which one of these cannabises was grown from an auto or a photo, people wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
No.
The,
Yeah.
the cannabis from auto flowering plants nowadays is fucking good shit. Easily comparable to photo periods, maybe even better in some cases, and vice versa. The photo periods could be better than the autos. You know, the auto genetics nowadays are fucking really good. They were shit 10 years ago. I'm not going to deny that, you know, but nowadays, damn, There's some good shit out there, man. So you just pick what's best for you and grow that, and it will probably turn out just fine. For my last 5 grows, I've only grown autos. I haven't grown a photo period plant for a long time, you know, because I've just been growing Mephisto, good shit, and it's just incredible cannabis every single time. So that works well for me. What do you think, John? What do you think the difference between autos or photos?
I like them both. It just depends on how you want to grow, one, and two, potentially how much you want to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
if you want to get a whole bunch, photo period is the way to go. Or depending on how you're going to grow. If you want to do a scrog or something, can't do that with an auto, really. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Depends on the method you want to grow with as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I don't. You know, I can't tell the difference. If somebody were to hand me an auto bud or a photo bud, I'm not going to be able to tell the difference.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like I've had autos that were better than photo weed, and I've had photo weed that were better than auto weed. Yeah. You just do what's best for you, you know, figure out what's right. And the good thing about growing numerous autos is you can have seedlings in the same place as flowering plants because it's all on 18.6.
Yeah.
You know? So that's one of the good things about it. Just have to figure out what's best for you. And I think that's another one which we do cover in more detail in one of the grow guides, auto versus photos, which type of cannabis seed to choose that's best for you, you know?
Yeah.
Autos cost too much in electricity for me, says Smee, but that's the only thing stopping me from trying to grow. Oh man, don't let that hold you back, mate. I don't know. I'd have to know more about your
6 hours.
Yeah, but mate, in the UK, that 6 hours is a lot of fucking money. Let me tell you. You know, it adds up, man. And I completely understand where it's coming from. 12.12 is much cheaper, you know, but still, if you can veg an auto with some photo period, like I don't know what setup you're working with, but I used to do something like 4 autos and 4 photo period plants, and then I'd have them on 18.6 throughout the veg period, you know, where the photos and the autos are vegging together on 18.6, and then when they got to a certain size, I'd take the photo period and I'll put them in their own flowering tent under 12.12, and I'll leave my veg tent on 18.6, and then those autos would grow out on the 18.6 while I'm also running a 12.12 with the flowering. But I don't run 2 tents anymore, but that's what I used to do back in the day. And that was a good way to do things because I used to smoke a ridiculous amount of cannabis back then. So I used to just grow shitloads of weed. I don't need to do that now. But that was my method back in the day. You know, you just got to figure out what works best for you, what's most efficient, and roll with it, man. And then if you want to grow, say for example, you want to grow a super silver haze, which you got 16 weeks flowering cycle if you want to do a photo period, but you get an auto of super silver haze, which is close to the flavor and the terpene profile and the cannabinoid profile for super silver haze. It's close. It's not the same as the photo, but it's close enough. Then running that an 18.6 for 10 12 weeks is going to be less maybe than running fucking 6 weeks of veg, 6 to 8 weeks of veg, and then 16 weeks of flower. You know, the energy prices over that long period of time, it adds up to be more. So you just have to figure out what you're going to have, what works best for you, and just roll with it, man. Don't let anybody tell you autos is shit, because they're lying. Autos are the shit, bro. They are fucking quality seeds. It just depends on your situation. You will get just as good cannabis from an auto if you're getting the good genetics, of course. Don't buy shit 100%. Seeds, buy good seeds. But you'll get the same quality of cannabis from an auto as you would do from a photo period plant. Maybe even better. You know, it depends. But that's just my opinion. That's my own experience, at least. You know, you just got to figure out what's working best for you. Sure, yeah. Anyway, that's a bit of a long one. Sorry about that. Anything bad about that?
You felt the way.
Yeah. Anything to add to that one?
No. Pros and cons for both.
Indeed. So we have Free Nugs. What's up, Free Nugs? He sends in this question. Why are you, when you are growing outdoors, so this is for you, this one, Margaret, in the ground, and you don't have any organic or natural nutrients, is it okay to use salt-based nutrients like you do for an indoor grow? I currently have one plant outside. I've been feeding at least once a week and also water with recharge once a week. Is there benefits to using your salts outside? I do want to go more organic next year, just using what I have available. Yeah, so what do you think about that? Do you add any salt-based nutrients to your soil there, Margaret?
I haven't before. It's an interesting question, though.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know what other people think because I've never done this before, but I'm trying to use like soil that I've built myself, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if you don't have, I don't know, time or energy or access, there could be a lot of reasons why you don't have living soil. So if you're just throwing it in the ground,
Mm-hmm.
would salt-based nutrients sort of pick up the slack? What do y'all think?
Well, from what, and I've never done this before. I've never grown outside and used salt-based nutrients, so I'm just, I don't know, it's anecdotal at least. But from what I've seen, using salt-based nutrients on ordinary dirt can damage the microbiology in the soil. So it's better to just try and stick with the organic methods there. If you add salts, then the salts can damage the microbiology, and then the roots won't be as happy as they should be. But I'm not. I haven't done it myself. This is just what I've heard, so I wouldn't be able to give you any good feedback on that one. I would just try and say if it's outdoors, just try and stick with organics, man. And
Right.
if you
I
were
mean,
using good soil in the first place. Sorry, John, you got something to add?
we did last year. We used up some of our nutrients that we had. Like I switched from a liquid nutrient to my dry, and I just took my liquid and used it outdoor. Um, but it wasn't. I didn't use like the grow nutrients. I used the flowering nutrients
Mm-hmm.
just to give it that boost at the end because we didn't have any organic material we could put in there and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
this year we're just kind of this year we kind of beefed it up a little bit, and we're not going to do that this year.
But there's some kind of environmental impact as well. Like if you're close to a stream, somebody mentioned something
Yeah.
about a stream in the chat, and it just reminds me, the farmers who would use salt-based nutrients, some of their
Mm-hmm.
nitrogen would wash into the streams and the rivers around
Yeah.
it, and that would encourage the algae to grow more because it had more nitrogen,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
then
That's a
that
good
blocks
point.
out the sunlight getting to the plants in the river, and then the river plants will die off, which means the fish are not getting enough oxygen, so they die off, and it has a big impact on
Right.
You don't want to fuck with the local ecosystem.
That's right, yeah. So
Right. I
While
be
don't
growing
think
your
careful of.
weed.
I don't think in this situation that's going to happen. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd
Because
probably have to be
you're
using
not
an
talking
awful
about growing
lot.
right.
Yeah.
Like you're not growing a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
field like
Yeah.
40 acres of it like they do
That's
in
right.
farming.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
growing like a handful of plants.
Yeah. Yeah.
But something to
Yeah.
be mindful of, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Hmm.
If
But
you
yeah,
want to
For
grow
sure.
as John
like
said, it's
bodies of
not
water.
a massive amount. So you could use it, but I would say if you are using it, then keep using it. You know what I mean? Don't just use it once and then leave it. Then just keep feeding the plants
Right.
with the salt-based nutrients just to make sure it's properly topped up. But it's better to try and stick to that organic if you can. Get some nice worm castings, some compost, lay that down and water that in, and that will give the plant pretty much whatever the fuck it needs if you're using the right worm castings and shit. You don't need to refer to salt-based nutrients. Prevent it at all costs. But if the plant's
Mm-hmm.
looking really shit and it needs to be fixed really quickly, then yeah, maybe the salt-based nutrients will be the best option. But that's
Yeah.
in rare cases when you should be able to deal with that shit organically if it's outside. Some work castings, some compost or compost, whichever you prefer to say. Yeah, just use that shit and it'll be fine. It'll take a little bit longer, take a week to recover rather than a couple of days, but it will recover. Just try and stick to the organics, man, if you can.
Yeah. Yeah. I can get
Sweet.
behind that.
So fire top. Yeah, we still got a couple of questions here. Gosh.
Holy.
Yeah, fire top. This is an interesting one. Does using different grow techniques lower or increase the chances of bugs or pests? I've only ever grown in soil, and I'm curious to see what challenges other growers deal with, other than newts and so on. Do bugs and pests attack the plant at the same? So this is question one. There's a couple of questions here from fire top. So just quickly, pretty much yes, mate. If it's in soil, you're more likely to see bugs because the bugs have stuff to eat inside the grow medium, like
Yeah.
fungus gnats, like woody things. So if there's big chunks of wood or tree bark or something in the soil, then the fungus gnats are going to be like, "That's my shit, bro," and it's going to be then it's going to be laying eggs. It's going to be they're going to fucking love it. Soil
Having a
is
party.
much more likely. Yeah, they'll love it. So the soil with the nutrients in and stuff that bugs can feed off, they're going to love it. You're going to have more chance. It's not like you will see them. If you're careful, you still will avoid them, but you're more likely to see them in soil than
Yeah.
you are in like a hydroponic medium like cocoa or rock wool because they can't lay their eggs in that shit as easily. There's not enough nutrients there specifically for those bugs.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll just we'll leave it at that for that one. if you're in soil, more likely to see bugs. Hydroponic mediums, less likely. But it doesn't mean that you will see them. But there's a question 2 on that, which was an interesting one. Is there companion plants that can be grown with cannabis that deter pests and bugs like lavender deter spiders and so on? And yes, mate. Just if it's got high smell and things like garlic can prevent bugs going to the plant, and then there's things like lavender, like you mentioned there, that will attract the bugs, but to the nice smelling plant rather than going to the cannabis. They prefer to go to that specific one. You know what I mean, John? You got something to add to this one? You know about this?
I mean, there's a bunch of different companion plants you can plant. I think we planted a bunch of marigolds and stuff in the greenhouse this year, try and deter. It doesn't mean it's not like you're going to put them in there and it's going to get rid of them completely if you have bugs already. You know what I mean? It's just going to, it's going to help,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's and another thing on the soil part too is it's not just that it's going to increase the chance of maybe bugs coming to your grow. You're also increasing the chance of bringing them in just by bringing in the soil.
Yeah. That's right, man. I wouldn't use any companion plants unless I was growing them from seed. In living soil, like a raised bed. And Twisted had a great one. He R.I.P. Twisted, man. Missed that legend. But fucking hell, he had this incredible grow one time. He just had this huge raised bed, and he just planted everything in it along with his cannabis, and it was just beautiful to see. Everything was so balanced out so well. He had clovers in there. He just had loads of shit. You see the diary.
Some of those look so awesome, man.
So good
when people do them upright like that.
Proper nature,
Yeah.
This is how it's intended. So good. Yeah. So it would take a lot of research to know what companion plants work best. To take, because you got plants that will take nitrogen out of the air and put it down into the soil. Nitrogen fixers and shit like that. I don't know what plants they are. But yeah, if you can get a whole nice ecosystem with plants, bugs, fucking nematodes, bacteria, all these different things, if you can get that balanced out in your raised bed, you'll be smashing it, man. You just have to figure out the right balance, and that depends on your location and all sorts of shit like that as well. Green Grocer added to the question too here, additional, any companion psychedelic plants? And that's an interesting one. I mean, maybe you could grow like salvia, maybe. I don't know, but I wouldn't want to do that shit. I have
no idea.
Fuck that. Yeah, and then psychedelic plants like cacti. I mean, you probably couldn't, because cannabis needs a lot more water than cacti does, so you couldn't put them in the same pot. I mean, you couldn't have a raised bed and have some San Pedro in it. That might be also
climate too, right?
Like, yeah.
I don't think they're going to last too long in Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
mushrooms? Could you go mushrooms with them?
Well, you can, but it's the moisture thing, isn't it? And there's the trichoderma as well. Like soil loves trichoderma, but mycelium hates it. Mycelium will get destroyed by trichoderma. But if it's in the soil will love it. If you got the right balance, then you could grow some mushrooms in there. And some people do have that, and it's nice to have that balance of fungi and bacteria in a living soil. But it's just difficult to get the balance right. If you want to grow some mushrooms, do it separately on the side. Try not to add it to the cannabis. But if you do, bonus. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So, yeah. Any companion psychedelic plants? No, just grow them separately on the side. Easy to do. Don't worry. So then we have one more. Let's get this one done. And this is from DC Smee, who is a new user of the forum and a new listener of the podcast as well. And has become a Patreon too. Shout out to DC Smee. You can win a Jet2 holiday. You can save £200 per family. That's £50 each for a family of 4.
I've seen so many of them damn commercials.
Fucking Jet2 fucking holiday.
Now there's memes out there about them.
I don't think I've ever seen the real commercial, actually.
But I hate that song. I've hated that song for like 2 fucking years. Anytime it comes on the radio, darling, hold my hand. So, I'm fucking freaking out, man. But my boy knows I hate it. So this guy,
plays it.
He went out there. He found there's an actual song. This isn't just used for an advert. This was an actual song that was released like 10 years ago. And he sent me a link to the full song. And it is dreadful. Dreadful.
Beautiful.
It's worse than Barbie Girl by Aqua back in the day. It's so bad. Oh, God. But I digress.
You know all the words, though, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I danced to
Yeah.
it in the costume, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, DC Smee said, so glad I found this podcast as it has opened up a new avenue to like-minded UK growers, allegedly. Excuse me. I've been listening every opportunity. I can catch up with all the grow diaries, cannabis news, and listener mail. Which brings me to my question. Billy isn't here, but does Billy's friend?
It was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Swear to take the Lord's name in vain, but it's appropriate.
That's right. Billy doesn't need to be here for this one. Here we go. Does Billy's friend and lesbi use any particular fingers when checking how moist her patch is? And would it be worth getting friend to use their fingers for a second opinion? Great show. Fucking hell. Billy, what have you done?
I know, he's unleashed a monster.
Oh, yeah.
In this character of Anne Lesby.
Do what's best for you, Smee. Just do what's best for you. Yeah. I will add no strong opinion either way. You do you.
Yeah.
That's why they have these marches. You know?
I mean, I feel like all fingers work, don't they?
Yeah, I do. I might just add, you just make sure your fingernails are clean. That's all.
That's right.
Yeah.
And well lubed. You know?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus, Billy. What have you done to us? But yeah, there you go, Smee. I hope that answers your question there. And yeah, no question from Anne Lesby this week, unfortunately. Her and Billy are off doing some gallivanting. Let's say
That's
that.
right.
Let's say that. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so good show there. I think that's just about everything. That's all the listener mail. And thanks to everybody who sent listener mail. We had a shitload of listener mail questions this week, and we appreciate that shit.
That was a good one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send more next week, everybody. Even if it's not about cannabis.
Questions.
Yeah.
Even
the random shit.
Even if it's not about cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to be doing online therapy soon?
Maybe. You never know.
I
That's
think
where we
all
go. That's
need
where we
it,
go.
Margaret.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, I think we all need it.
Oh, sure.
No second opinions. No, Sir Hunterlot. I think we had all the opinions we needed for that question, bro. It's time for the outro. You ready for the outro?
Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Let's do
lady.
You're so immature, John.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Pony Club.
Oh, no.
No,
why did you do that?
Oh,
Margaret.
Did it get stuck in your head last week?
Oh, yeah, Margaret, you don't even know, right? This song was stuck in my head for 3 fucking days.
She
just
knows,
Pink
Macky.
Pony Club. I don't even know what this fucking song is, but it's just going on and on in my head for 3 days. Pink Pony Club.
It's a pretty catchy song. You just gotta
That's the
embrace
thing.
it.
It's that hook. It's that hook. So I said to
Yeah.
the wife at one point, I'm like, look, man, and I'm sitting here at the PC. I spin around. I'm like, look, you're gonna have to do me a favor. Find this song called Pink Pony Club so I can listen to it, because there's a hook stuck in my head. And they say when there's a song stuck in your head, you have to go and listen to it because it's your brain telling you that it's an incomplete task. So you have to listen to it to get rid of the incomplete task, because then it's complete.
Right.
So I listened to like
Did it work?
a minute of this song. No, it didn't work. It just made me realize this woman must be singing about a strip club or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, some kind of.
Yeah.
But
It was terrible.
I like the song. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. Yeah.
There, I said it.
I only like it
Don't lie, John.
Chit.
You love it.
because of Chit.
You
Oh
sure?
shit, yeah. I've heard a lot of renditions of it too, though, that other people have sung, and it's
I have not.
You gotta have a lot of vocal range to be able to sing that song.
Pink Pony Club.
Calm down, Mariah Carey.
I'm
Damn.
gonna keep on dancing.
I'm not saying I
with
fall
the
into that category, believe me, but
Jesus. Yeah. So Yeah, good tune, everybody. Go listen to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, gosh
Oh
damn.
shit.
Wow, lots
Okay.
covered in this episode. It's been
There's
a
lots.
very insightful one there. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And of course, hit the like button, subscribe, all that shit. Share if you can. All that stuff you're supposed to say when you're on YouTube. You know how we roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, just and yeah, go subscribe to Bite Me the Show about edibles as well. Don't forget to do that.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
it,
please
lady.
don't forget.
Are you ready to share your link yet, John? Or are we going to give it
No.
another week?
We'll give it at least a week. Maybe
Yeah.
4.
John's a little bit stage shy. He's got stage fright.
Listen, the
I
new
get
mic
it.
comes on Wednesday.
Ah, very true.
Mike.
We
Very
got
new,
new
yeah.
equipment coming in. I see.
I mean, that would be
That's right.
great.
It's going to sound completely different, you know.
Well, I told Macky, I was like, so the other day I went back and listened to last week's show, right? Just I'd never had before, right? And
You
I'm
shouldn't
just
listen. That's the
listening-
thing. You can't do it.
I know, but I wanted to hear what my mic sounded like. That was the whole point of it. It was like, okay, I got to find out what my mic sounds like.
But bro, it's not the
So-
mic that makes you sound like a dickhead. It's just
No, I am a dickhead. That is true. I already knew that part. No. You know? So
you know,
that-
and now you mention it,
You
it did
might.
crackle a couple of times throughout the episode today. It did crackle.
Yeah.
I heard it
couple of
once. I
times.
thought.
Yeah.
See, and
Mhm.
and that's why I'm saying that's what I heard, which made me go, I need to buy a better mic. I don't
Mhm.
want that to happen because
Right.
it's not on the P's and the S's, right?
Mhm.
It's something else. I don't know. So
Yeah, the
Yeah.
P's are important. Got to have that pop shield. See, pop, pop,
pop,
pop,
pop,
pop.
pop, 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 pop,
There you
pop.
go.
If you have a
That's
good enough
right.
mic, you don't need it. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Damn it.
Professionals
That's
here,
right.
everybody. Just hope John's little mini rant there helps you understand how
Sorry,
hard we
everybody.
try to be professional for you guys.
Try.
That's right. We put the effort in. You know. Yeah. So good show, everybody. But I
Yeah,
think
good
that's it.
show. Yeah.
Let's
Very
wrap
good.
this
Get the
shit
fuck
up
outta
and yeah,
Get
and
her
go
in.
eat some food,
Get her
drink some
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
whiskey or
hungry.
something. You know what I'm saying? I got some good ass whiskey.
Ooh,
Oh my god, I have some good ass whiskey.
stop it. You're making
Yeah.
mouth water.
It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no, I'm hungry too.
So it's so
Dinner
good.
time.
It's like, you know, you sip this whiskey and it's like water. You know when you sip a strong spirit and it's like, oh, and you wince a little bit from the
You're like,
strong stuff.
Not again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this stuff, nothing. It's like, it's so smooth. It's like water. It's ridiculously good.
Dangerous.
Ridiculous. Oh, yeah, dangerous. I've killed off like a 70cl bottle. I've got about a quarter left. I've had it for 4 days. I'm like, oh, how are you drinking that much whiskey? What the fuck? Maybe 4 days is an exaggeration. Maybe 5. All right.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, good shit. Goodbye,
Good
everybody.
stuff.
All right.
Stay high, stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye.
Catch you on the
we'll
next
see
one.
you.
Goodbye.
Bye, bye, bye. Bow, bow, bow.